All right. Looks like we are live. Welcome to the show. This is the Patreon show, and it's going to be airing later for everyone else to listen to. Um, but to start off, we're going to go through the show and bring people on. So this is open to the patrons only. And we're going to bring people on one at a time, kind of like what we did last time. So I already see Blade Runners there, Susan. So, guys, hang on a second there. Um, if you can, let's see here. Where's that sound coming from? That might be me, actually. Yeah, it is me. I was gonna blame one of you guys. Um, anyways, okay, so I'm just setting it up. It's all ready to go and it's coming in. So I'll start off here with whoever jumps in first. So the first person that's going to get an opportunity to come on is going to be, according to this, Susan. Somebody just dropped there for a second. So if you drop out, just jump right back in. Whoops, what happened to my screen here? Okay, there we go. If you drop out, just jump right back in. We'll see. I mean, hopefully the room won't fully full out because I can fit 10 people in the room below, and I can bring up to 6 or 5, or 6, including myself. I think it's including myself, 6 people at once to talk. So we'll do that a bit later. But I'm going to bring each person on individually first, like I did last time, to give you a chance to say whatever you want to say, talk about whatever you want to talk about, make some comments about what you feel, what's going on, or some questions or anything you might have for myself. And again, this will be aired later for everyone, so you'll be able to come back and watch this show later on tonight. So I'll start with Susan. I'm going to bring you on, Susan. So just make sure you got your mic set up. And if you haven't done this before, it's pretty easy. You just go to your cam mic sort of setup there, and they give you a little indicator to tell you if it's coming in or not. And I would recommend that if you are going to come in, that you use headphones and not have the show playing in the background, because you get that sort of feedback loop sort of thing. So with that being said, all right, Susan, you're on board.
Hey, can you
Hi,
hear me?
Susan. How are
Hey,
you?
how you doing? I'm fine. Can you hear me this time?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yay! Okay, great.
Yay. So
How's
what's up
everybody?
with you? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just, I've we had a death in the family. My sister passed
Oh,
away last week.
I'm so
So
sorry to hear that.
yeah, and you said thanks so much and love and prayers for everybody. I really appreciate this,
Yeah.
community we're
Did you
in.
guys get to spend time with her before she passed?
Well, I fought to see her because they said only one person could come in, and that was her common law husband.
Mm-hmm.
But I fought for him to stay with her because I didn't want her to die alone. I mean, I'm a nurse, and an ex ICU nurse, so she was in ICU, and I knew what was going on. She was dying basically. She went in on the Saturday and had a stroke that night and went into liver failure. I mean, she had a dodgy liver anyway,
Oh
and
no.
went unconscious. And I found out on Monday, and I, wanted to go see her, and they wouldn't let me. And then I fought for her husband, to stay with her.
Mm.
And then, they granted that. And then I fought to get in. And then they granted me to come in because I guess they knew what was going on. And they knew I was a nurse too. So they knew I was going to kick up some stuff. And I did not wear a mask. I refused to play their game,
Yeah.
and it was just, they offered me a mask when I first walked in the hospital. And I said, no, thanks. I'm good. I let them take my temperature. Okay. Because I
Mm.
knew I didn't have one anyway. And then I proceeded to go up to the ICU, and they offered me a mask up there. I said, no, I'm good. And I went into my sister's room and I pulled the curtain. And the nurse came in and said, well, if my supervisor sees you, she's gonna yell at you. And I said, well, bring her on. I'm
Yeah.
ready for a fight, right?
Oh boy.
So this went on for a couple days. She just deteriorated. She never regained consciousness.
Oh,
Yeah, and she was, I mean, she started turning jaundice, and they did a COVID test on her. Of
right.
course, it was negative. So then we had a family conference because I have a brother that lives in Tennessee. My other
Mhm.
brother came up, and her common law husband was there too, and we decided to let her go because I didn't see the point in her, pumping fluids into a
Yeah,
corpse, really,
yeah.
because that's what she looked like. So we decided to let her go. Um, I asked if I could stay because I was used to, people being on a vent and being extubated. So her common law husband went downstairs with my brother, and they went to have a cigarette, right?
Mhm.
Uh, which is crazy. And I said, no, I'm gonna stay because I think it's not going to be very long. So that's what happened. They expedited her, and 2 minutes later, she passed. She passed very peacefully, and I was holding her
Oh,
hand.
I guess that's
So
the I mean, that's the at least she went peacefully, and
yeah, at
that's
least yeah, that's right. And
at
I
least you
mean,
got to be with her. It's unfortunate she never regained consciousness,
yes,
but
I know
at
because I
least you
had much.
got to be with her, right? And
Exactly, that's my consolation. So I mean, at
it
least I
just
was there.
it's so diabolical because it's one of those things. Like there's a lot of things that they do to us because of what they're doing, right?
Right, exactly.
and
I
and
mean,
and some of them are tolerable, which they really shouldn't be, but they
right,
are. It's like putting on a face mask to go into a store or something like that. Like, yeah, it's awful and you shouldn't have to do it, but I got to do it. We got to do it. Otherwise, you're gonna be arrested or whatever. But not allowing family members to be with their loved ones when they're on their deathbed is got to be and conversely where it's
it's
newborns being taken away from their mothers.
right. It's torture. They're
It's just
torturing us.
unbelievable.
It
It's
is.
like that's doesn't matter what they have. I mean, even if they had leprosy or whatever, you'd want to be with them. I mean, it's you're saying goodbye to someone that is so close to you, so important, and it's
Right, exactly. I mean,
yeah.
she was my baby sister. She was only 59.
Okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. And it just really pisses me off and makes me angry because aside from her,
Mhm.
her passing, I have, I told you I was a nurse consultant, and I have people calling in all over the country about their relatives in nursing homes, and they're being abused. They're not letting them in to see them either.
Mhm.
The staff aren't even going to clean them up. They're sitting in their excrement, and they're dying of loneliness. They're in isolation. It's like prison.
It happened here. I don't know if I know I talked about it and I covered it, but I didn't really do specific videos on it. But there was a lot of deaths here attributed to COVID-19, but it was all mostly in the old age homes.
Right.
And what was happening was that all the employees were paranoid because of what they saw on the television. So nobody was going in to take care of these people.
Exactly.
And they were left, like you said, in their own excrement, not being fed, not being clean,
Right.
shaven, catheters changed or anything, left to
Exactly.
die in horrible conditions
Alone.
and alone. And it's just so egregious. It's so evil that happened. They
Definitely.
actually brought in the military to fill in for the people that were too afraid to come in. You can't really blame the workers so much because they're hooked up
Mhm.
to their devices and they're thinking they're going to get sick and pass it on to their family and all that. But the whole thing has just been so awful, and there have been so many victims. And I was talking to a family member before about other people that were scheduled to have surgery or like had to have diagnosis and stuff like that, and it was
Mhm.
pushed aside and for months and months on end. And
Oh,
this is
right. Yeah.
like all around.
Exactly.
You're a nurse, right? So
I do.
like this has been happening.
And
And
the hospitals are empty. This is what really,
yep.
makes me
It's
so
just
mad because they've been laying off nurses and doctors all over the
mhm.
country, and we're supposed to be in a scamdemic.
Yeah.
If it was real, you would know somebody in every family. People would be dropping like flies. There'd be obituaries. There'd be, evidence. There's they, there's no evidence. They say, I just love the way they say experts say, but they never say who the experts are, or an elderly woman died of COVID, but they never say who she was. I mean, it's just nuts. The world is on drugs. Seriously.
Mhm.
It's just, and all this stuff with, I refuse to wear a mask. I haven't yet. I'll probably get thrown in jail, probably, because I will not play their game.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I just want to say a message because the room is full. Okay, so there are people trying to get in, and if you're trying to get in, just hang in there. Maybe come in the chat. I don't know if you're. Geez, I think
Yeah, there was only
that.
one person in the chat when I
Okay,
was in there.
so if maybe they can't. Oh yeah, they should be able to see the show. So you should be able to see the show. I don't know, like, is the chat functioning in the show right now? I'm gonna
I
refresh
can only
this.
see the backstage chat. I can't see the
Yeah, I don't see a
the regular
chat
chat.
there.
Yeah.
So there's no regular chat there. So if you're listening to this, so I'm assuming that the people that are trying to get in are able to at least listen to the show because I did provide a link to the show.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey,
Um,
Jeff, there are people backstage. I can see 10 people.
okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
there are backstage. Hey,
Okay,
there's
are they leaving comments and stuff? I know there's
yeah,
the
yeah,
private chat here. That's
yes,
the
it's
okay.
working.
So
I'm
let's
linking.
see who
Some
is
the link doesn't work.
Elena's. Okay, these are all the people that are in the room right now. They're not the people that are trying to get in. That's what I'm talking about, is the people that are trying to get in. So I'm hoping
Right.
that people that are trying to get in will just go to watch the show and listen to us and hang in there, and we'll bring you in. So we're going to go through. I'm going to do it like I did last time. So I'm going to try to give everyone a 5 minutes or so to, say a few things and express themselves and get whatever. And then we'll do the big group chat later.
At the end.
So, yeah.
Like we did last time. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was
was
a lot of
great.
fun. So, do you have anything else you want to talk about, Susan, before we go to the next person?
I just want to, shout out to Jen, Phoenix Cat,
Yeah.
Jason Hammond,
Yep.
and my boys, Sean Rhinelander. I hope you're feeling better, and thank you, and Moon Mother, and all these fantastic people on this chat. I just want to give you lots of love, and when we're chatting, chat me up.
Yeah, that's great. I know all those people,
Yeah.
so like it's
Oh,
great
and
that.
I'm forgetting
So
that cool Paranoia too. Can't forget her. She's
yeah,
my sister.
uncool, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what I would ask Susan, and I don't want to have to do this, but I because I want to make sure
I
people
know. I
get in.
understand.
So
I know.
like if you could do this for me, once we're finished here, you leave the room and then we can get somebody else to come in. I'll do this
Yep.
with people. And then when a little bit later, I want you to come back. I don't want you to go, but if you have to go, you have to go, sort of thing, right?
Sure.
But I want you to come back and you'll be first in line to jump in for the group show. And what we'll do with the group show is if we have a full house, we're going to have 6 at a time, sort of thing. So we'll just ask people after 15 minutes or so to take a turn, sort of thing. It's kind of like musical chairs, you know what I mean? So,
Okay.
but
Got
yeah,
one last thing to
go ahead.
say to you, Jeff. We love you so much, and you better wake your ass up.
Thanks so much, Susan. That's awesome.
Okay, I'll leave.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you in a bit, okay?
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Okay. So I'm going to bring in Big Wasp. You're going to be up next. And yeah, if you're listening, there should be a spot or two open now, so you can try to get back in the show. Whoops. Here. Oh, Big Wasp just disappeared and I clicked on Blade Runner. Blade Runner 383. How you doing there, buddy?
Not bad. Not bad. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear.
Cool.
I didn't ask Susan where she was, but if you want to give your state away or whatever country you might be in, that would be cool.
Staten Island, New York.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah. It's weird here. It's people are divided completely. Half of the island believes it, and since I work for a telecommunications company, I get to talk to a lot of people, and some like 50% of them say that it's bullshit. And the other people, they come in with gloves and then they don't touch anything, and they have these big things of disinfectant, and the only thing that they touched was their own stuff, and then they pump it, and then they just start cleaning their hands, which is ridiculous to me. But I've found a lot of people that can actually see all the crap that's going on.
In Staten Island?
Yeah, in Staten
Awesome.
Island.
That's awesome. I've been to Staten Island before. I know it's kind of weird because it's so close to New York City, but it's not like massively populated like New York City, right?
No, it's not. And the island itself is divided into the south and north.
Mhm.
And then the north people, they find the south people really weird. But now with everything that's going on, they got divided even more.
So where is the more awakened group? Is it the north or the south?
The North Shore.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The South Shore, they're more like stuck up because it's like old money.
Yeah.
So they don't actually leave the South Shore unless they really have to.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're so, I mean, you're so close to New York City, so you're like near one of the major epicenters, and yet you're kind of like it's. I mean, I'm glad that you're there. You're not in Manhattan, for instance, right? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I'm on the sideline, so I could see everything that's happening, but none of the riots and protests happened here on the island. But there was a lot of preparations for like the small businesses that actually were able to stay open.
were they like putting boards on the windows and stuff like that, or anticipating
No,
anything?
they would just put all the stuff, anything that's valuable, they would just take it out of the stores, or
Okay.
that's essentially it.
Yeah.
But it was, for the most part, it was all calm, even though there was a lot going on in the city.
That's
So
good.
So
That's
really
good.
Weird. Yeah.
I'm glad that you're, it's weird because you're in that kind of maybe safe space, if I dare say, where you're not,
that's what I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Like if you were around that area, you'd want to be on one of those islands that, especially if things get bad.
Yeah, exactly.
The zombies can't swim, so.
Yeah, and then there's no bridges that people can actually just walk across. Everybody has to actually drive. So if they shut everything down, there's no way that the people from the city are able to walk across the bridges.
Oh, is it just ferries, right, that gets there?
There's a Staten Island ferry that goes to the south side of Manhattan, and then there's 3 other bridges that go into New Jersey.
Okay.
But the other bridge goes into Brooklyn.
Okay, cool.
But you can't walk on across either one of them. No. So it's very secluded.
Okay.
But you can still see everything.
Right. And so are you having success reaching more people? Are you guys kind of getting together and trying to maybe, get more people to see what's going on?
There's a lot of fighting, like with people that I want to wake up. I want to just give them little hints of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then they start thinking that I'm being a conspiracy theorist. So like it's right there in front of your eyes. You have to see it. I did have success with one of my coworkers, and I told him that everything that was gonna happen, and then he's like, "You're full of shit." But as sorry, I cursed. But
no, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
And then as soon as everything started happening, and he's like, "How the fuck did you know?" And now he's one of the only few people that I can actually talk to, and he sees everything that's happening. Okay. And he happens to work with me as well, so it annoys him. Yeah.
I think it's important.
It is.
To have all of us to have like real people in our lives, because we do have the internet people, internet friends, or whatever you want to say, right? Mm-hmm. That like-minded people that come to shows like this, that see a lot of what's going on. But it's very refreshing when you can find people, in your own neck of the woods that maybe they're not, they're just normal people that or family or friends or whatever, and they're starting to see it, because I think there's an opportunity right now to plant a lot of seeds. I think a lot of people, like, I'm going to do my best moving forward to try to just compile as much good information as possible and try to put that together and use it as something that we can send out to people that is, just things that they can't, it can't really be denied, right? Like
Right.
all the planning and all the preparations and the event 201 and the scenarios of the future and all these things that show that this has been plotted out, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we could use to get more people. The question is, and I don't believe we need like 50% of the population. I think it's usually around 10% of the population that if they're motivated and they're active, they can make a huge difference, sort of thing. So I think that it's good that in smaller areas like where you are, that people can kind of get together and support one another, and that you can develop either plans or just potential sort of things that you guys can do just in case things go south or whatever, right? That you have a network of people that you can rely on, sort of thing, and that understand what is going on. But I think, thankfully you're not on Manhattan, so that would be
Yeah, that would be some show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about before we move on to the next person? And of course, I want you to.
No, pretty much that's it. I'm glad that I had the chance to talk to you for once. And archery, I practice archery as well.
Oh, cool! Yeah. What type of bow do you have?
I have a recurve bow and a compound bow.
Ah, cool. I have a recurve.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I figured I'd go with that because it's less complicated, but it's not as as easy to use. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's more like you have to go with when you have to develop your own aim as opposed to using a sight.
Yeah. I kind of like that though, because I think it's like, in those situations where it's life or death or something, you want to have that muscle memory and that, just that you practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than relying on something that potentially, I know it. A lot of people use the compound bows. Obviously, probably more popular these days, right? Just because they're easier to draw and stuff. But I think that's a pretty cool hobby to have these days, and it could come very much in handy if things do go south.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I took it up. It's like it was just something random that I took up, but I've been doing it for a while already. But
do you have an area to go to there to do it, or is there?
Yeah, like about 5 minutes from where I live, there's a field that is an archery field. So
okay.
So there's a lot of
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so I'll let the next person go in. And
awesome.
Then, it was nice talking to you.
Stick around. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And stick around. We're gonna do the group later. So thank you so much.
No problem.
And if you can, just do me a favor, maybe drop out of the room and come back a bit later because people are trying to get in. So we just want to be able to make sure that we get everybody in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So hang on a second here. I'm going to get to Paul Mack and then P. Maskey and Mobile Suit, Hell on Wheels. We've got the Unknown Soldier here. Elena's in the house. Uncool Paranoia and Phoenix Cat. Yeah, awesome. So hang on one sec. I'm just going to get some air here. All right, so we're going to Paul now.
Hey,
hi, Paul.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Oh, wow. It's so nice to talk with you, honestly.
Oh,
I've been listening to you for a long time, so thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's my pleasure. How do you know how long you've been listening? Did you go back to Free Radio Revolution or New World Agenda or?
Yeah, New World Agenda okay. For sure.
Awesome.
But I want to talk to you about a few things today. And starting, I just want to say that everybody who is subscribed and a part of this B system, and the actors, the athletes, the politicians, all these people, they all need to be arrested.
Yep.
Okay? That's all. Just arrested. Just arrest them all.
Yeah, I agree. I say it all the time. I actually, I kind of say these people need to be arrested, but I'm kind of thinking these people need to be hung.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Can't
That's
say
what I
that,
really want to
right?
say. That's
And then
what I
people
really want to say.
then when I say these people need to be arrested, people leave comments like, "Come on, Jeff, are you serious? You think they're going to be arrested?" It's like, well, I can't say what I want to say,
They all
but
need to be.
yeah,
And I say it
yeah.
to my coworkers and everything. I'm in Tampa, Florida, by the way.
Mhm.
So
Okay, cool.
I'm originally from Philly, and I moved down here about 10 years ago. And where I live, they're very heavy on MAGA. Okay, Trump. He was actually here in Tampa, actually in Clearwater, about 3 weeks ago. He came here, and oh my gosh, it was MAGA hats in full force. Down here in Florida, you're like really caught in the left-right paradigm, and I'm sure it's like that everywhere, but you just really notice it here. My coworkers, my friends, they don't look deeper to what is going on. You know what
That's
I'm
what they
saying?
want. That's what they want. The whole system is designed to get people just to emotionally react and pick a side.
Right.
And
that's what. Go ahead.
yeah, it's so designed right down the middle just to split everyone. Like you just see it in every element. Everything that Trump does is everything he does is almost designed to create the reaction from the left, and conversely everything that the left does is done. I've never seen anything like it, like the polarization and the split right down the middle. But
Yeah, exactly. He needs to be arrested too.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, but
Go
you
ahead.
know what I like about your channel, Jeff?
Yep.
Is that you understand how to exploit the truth behind the system, mainstream media, the Kobe, everything. And you do it without going into a rabbit hole. So like reptiles, aliens, Trump is the reason, QAnon, things like that. Because some people who do this kind of thing, they pick that rabbit hole and then go down there, and then you get lost in it. And then you're like literally going down with them. And then you get so confused and you don't know what's real anymore with like the truth. So I really appreciate you do that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, it's just the way I kind of see things. I don't I don't, when it comes to like lizards and aliens and stuff, like, sure, it could be, but like
Exactly.
we could sit here till the cows come home talking about things that could be. Let's talk about what is, and let's leave the speculation, to people that want to speculate or whatever, to the David Wilcox and whatnot.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like there's an audience for that, and and I'm sure that's where those people are being led. It's the Galactic Federation of Light or whatever.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, go ahead.
another point I wanted to bring up is so when the NBA started back up in the bubble, I don't watch the NBA, but I turned it on just to see what it would be like in the beginning and how much they were going to push BLM and things like this. And it's funny how it happened. Like Rudy Gobert, okay, he was the first player in the NBA to get COVID, right? Yep. So they were really hyping him up before the game. And then he scored the first basket. And then they're like, Rudy Gobert, first player to score basket in the bubble, first player who got COVID. So like they really pushed it to where he would be recognized in that way. And it's just, you see it all over the place, different examples with sports right now. That's why I'm glad you did that sports video the other day.
Did you see that Rudy Gobert was the one that mocked the whole sanitization? Yeah. So it was
he was the one who was licking the microphone. Remember that and everything? Oh my gosh, it's unreal.
The NBA, all the leagues, but the NBA in particular, I think has been the league for both BLM and coronavirus.
Exactly. They're the hub. They are the center for it. Like, and now they have these, vote or die that's being brought back. So it's all mixing in that too. LeBron James with his whole voting campaign and how they're going to make didn't they say they're going to make the stadium they're going to make it voting booths or something exactly.
Like since when, right? Since when does pro sports play a role in elections?
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm a hockey player.
Yeah.
Okay. So I grew up playing hockey up in Philly and then moved down here and I still play rec hockey.
Right.
You know,
Cool.
hockey in Florida, that makes sense. So
Well, that's a way to cool down, I guess. Well, actually, you sweat with hockey, right? But yeah.
No, I know. So it's very hard for me to not watch hockey. I'm a big Tampa Bay Lightning fan, and I'm sure you're a hockey fan too.
Yeah, big time.
And when you were talking about hockey earlier on that video, it's just something that I have trouble with. I know it's there, and I know what they're pushing as well, but you understand, right? You grew up with hockey too.
Yeah. I actually watched some of the Montreal Canadiens games when they were playing Philly.
Yeah, the Habs. Mm-hmm.
Right. But I did it on a stream, and I just figure, like, if you're going to do it, don't give them any money.
No,
right.
Hell no.
And like what I like about the streaming is that the streaming service or it's not even a service, right? Because I don't pay for it. But the streaming that I used, they actually cut out the commercials. So there's no commercials. They do have the in between talks, but they don't have any commercials. And of course, right. So, but yeah, I think I'm at that point where I am gonna let it all go forever, sort of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I mean, that's all I watch, anyways. Is I guess I do watch UFC. I'll admit that.
Yeah, I watch a little UFC too.
Yeah, but I know what it all is, and again, I used to buy UFC cards. I'd get my buddies to, we get together and we'd all chip in
really?
$5. Yeah, we used to do this like way back, and I gave UFC quite a bit of money back in the day. Right. But now, like, I'm not going to support any of it at all. And I fully believe, like, I understand, like, it's because you grow up with it. Like, for me, like, Montreal Canadiens, like, it's the New York Yankees of hockey. And as I was growing up, I mean, some of the players' kids were in my school, and I played hockey with them and stuff like that.
It's huge up there. It's huge.
Yeah, it's religion here.
Exactly.
It's huge.
It's surprisingly big in Florida too, because the Bolts are so good. The Lightning, they're going to the conference finals.
There's also a lot of French people that go there in the wintertime, eh?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy how many Canadian people come down here, French Canadian. Like we call them snowbirds. Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. There's even whole areas where it's just French. There's like French restaurants and French snack bars and whatnot.
I like them.
Yeah,
I go to this restaurant all the time. Yeah,
that's cool. I guess you get poutine and stuff, eh?
Exactly.
You get the vrai Québécois. But that's cool.
More things I want to bring up before I leave.
Sure.
So, regarding the masks, so I'll be honest with you, they're very strict about it down here. And for me to enter into Publix, or Publix is like a big supermarket chain, we need to wear a mask. There's someone standing at the door looking and waiting to see. So what I do is I just put it, to where my nose is out, and then I'll pull it down when I get in the store. But I feel like I'm agreeing with this, and I don't know how to get around it. But my whole point about this is that same day that Trump was here, there was people out protesting on the street. And there was this guy with a cane. He was probably 75 plus years old. And me and my girlfriend were walking, and we saw him from across the street, and he looked like he was about to fall, like he was hyperventilating. Okay. It was hot. If you know Florida, it's like 110 degrees down here. It's well, for you, 42 degrees Celsius. So it's insane. So we go over to him and we ask him, take your mask off, please, just take it off. And he's like, well, my doctor or whoever says I wasn't supposed to. And oh my God. So we helped him up. We finally convinced him to take his mask off, got him some water and everything, and got him in some shade. And he basically was just so brainwashed at the fact of wearing this mask to where he wears it everywhere all the time in his car. You know what I think of is the song by Media Bear. I wear my mask when
that's brilliant.
But that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is up there with you, but
it's the same. It's I do the same thing where I have a bandana. And I whip it out for like the last minute as I'm walking in. And then as soon as I get in, I just lower it and I
Okay, so you
breathe.
do that too.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll be the masked bandit as I walk in, and as soon as I get in, and then I get people, telling me, sir, can you lift your, and it's like, what? What do you say? I play dumb all the time, right? Like, what are you talking about? What pandemic? What?
Awesome. Yeah, so
you have
Cool.
anything else you want to say before we move on to the next person?
Yes, this is the last thing.
Okay.
I just want to say to you, Jeff, that I can't imagine how hard it is for you with what you look at on a daily basis and all the, programming and everything that you try to debunk. But honestly, us as a group, a community, your community, we really need you, and we're behind you, and we're, we really appreciate what you're doing.
Oh,
so
thanks so
thank
much.
you.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I hope you can stick around. And I know I think we have more people trying to jump in here. So if you could perhaps do the same as the previous two people, where you just drop out of the room for a bit, but come back, stick around.
Okay.
I do have a link on the Patreon, so I hope people see that just to listen to the show. And I'll be saying, okay, guys, if Susan and Blade Runner and Paul can come back in, because you guys will be the first to come in for the group discussion later. Okay, so
cool.
I'll let you know,
good.
though. I'll be discussing. Thanks so much, Paul. It's great.
Thank you. Great talking to you.
Talk
Thanks.
to you soon. All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, so we're gonna move to P. Maskey here, and we see Jen is in the house. Moon Mother has arrived. We got Phoenix Cat, Uncool Paranoia, and Elena, of course, and Hell on Wheels, and Mobile Suit. So we'll start. I mean, I'm going from left to right as people. So it kind of like that's when you came in, sort of thing. So that's how I'm doing this part of it. So P. Maskey is next, and then it'll be Mobile Suit, followed by Hell on Wheels and Elena. So hang in there, folks. We'll get to you all. And yes, do use the chat on the side there to join in the discussion and, talk with each other while we're discussing at the same time. So P. Maskey, how are you doing?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi there.
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can't
okay,
hear myself.
Good.
Okay,
you can't.
Not that I have to. I hear myself all the time, but if everybody else can hear me and you can hear me, I'm cool. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what you can do. Are you have headphones on?
I do. I hijacked my son's gear microphone.
Yeah, because like some headphones, because like I this is what I do. I have open back headphones. I don't know if you know the difference, because there's basic. Okay, so with open back, you can hear the around you, but with the closed back, you can't really hear as much, right? So you may not be able to hear yourself as well. So what you can do, what some people do, is they just move the headphone off of one ear, the earpiece off one ear, so that they can still hear, sort of thing, but they can hear themselves. Like if you're having trouble, but if you can manage with how you are. You sound fine, so you're coming in loud and clear.
Like I said, I don't have to hear myself. My mind goes, 100% of the time I hear it, but I have to give kudos to what was the Paul Mack?
Yeah.
I love this story on the 75-year-old man that he soothed in the heat, because it touches on my angst, which is the fear. The fear factor out there is getting harder to tolerate. I'm at my wit's end some days with the fear I see in people's faces for a nothing burger. But it's and I go home and I think, what's the stress level for these people, and what it's doing to their physical and mental state. A couple of things. I get kind of edgy when I talk about this fear, because I like to see grown men go around me because I'm not wearing my mask outside. It's absurd, and in the stores I wear it because I have to, need the supplies, but I only wear it under my chin. I've never covered my mouth, because I wear glasses and they'll be foggy. I'll trip over somebody.
Yeah. Well,
You
good
know,
for
so
you.
I
Do
I
you want to
have
let people know whereabouts you are? What state,
I'm in
maybe? Or
Alliston, Ontario, which is about
okay,
85 miles. Yeah, about 85 k's north of Toronto. It's about an hour drive to Toronto.
okay,
Put it
good.
simply. Yep.
You're far enough away.
I'm in the country, boy. I know.
That's where you
I'm a
want to be.
Yeah, I'm a city girl. I grew up. You might have seen some of my comments, but I spent 26 years on Bay Street, which is
Oh,
Toronto's equivalent
yeah,
of Wall Street.
yeah.
Okay, started there as a kid. Chefs was by chance more than by
Hmm.
choice. My 26-year career in investment bank, and sometimes you got to kind of give it up to God, and so put me there for a reason at that time. Because I started in '75, and it
Hmm.
was sort of at the crossroads between you know old boys banking network going aside or retiring
Hmm.
and dying,
Hmm.
and it was evolving into the new age computer deregulations in the 80s, and I watched it all happen. I saw the environment go from paper to electronic. It was, I had only intended to work there 1 or 2 years, make some money, pay tuition because I wanted to be a journalist.
Ah.
There's a reason for
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to be a guy. I wanted to be on Life magazine. I wanted to, write the story, take the picture. Kind of more
Mm.
like what I see you as doing today. The best
Oh
kind of
yeah.
journalism.
Well,
That, so
except I'm not
yeah,
working for the beast.
oh, I worked for the Beast, and actually, I worked for three arms of the Beast. So, because it was a 26 years in the finance, I did
Mhm.
almost 8 months in the Canadian Armed Reserve, Air Reserve. That was an experience. Had to quit.
Wow.
I got an honorable discharge after 8 months because my only right to the base was my brother, and he quit.
Oh, okay.
And,
Okay.
but I had that experience, and it was long enough to get my GMT, General Military Training.
Okay, good.
Shot one, flew the otter once, you know. So
Oh
so
yeah.
and the third arm was medicine. Oh, where I really learned a lot of medicine because in my senior year of high school, I worked evenings as a medical receptionist because
Mhm.
it was a clinic close to school. I was in the admin pool for three doctors,
Mhm.
and one of them was a Mexican doctor. He was really a holistic doctor pretending
Mhm.
to be an allopathic because Oheb said so.
Yeah.
And he used to always give me these little remedies like, oh, Pat, smoking, yeah, bad for your lungs. Drinking, yeah, bad for your liver, but stress, it
Mm.
touches everything. It was those
Mm.
kind of little remedies, but he used a couple of natural therapies, just
Uh-huh.
really old wives remedies
Right.
sort of thing
Right.
on his patients that worked. And he
Yep.
was slapped on the hand hard. He suspended his license for 3 months because somebody
Uh,
said, or it was word of mouth. I don't know. Somehow somebody didn't like it and told the College of Physicians board. And so he was livid, and such a great guy, born in Mexico, was married to an Irish woman who she was his bookkeeper, tall. He's 5'7", beautiful girl, but very Irish looking, very pale skin, red hair, and he
uh,
was very Mexican. He looked Mayan almost, really
wow.
smart guy. Really, people would see him because she'd come by and bring the checks and so forth. But she's the accountant, a
Mhm.
chartered accountant, and people would look, and go, "That's his wife." Yeah, yeah, odd couple, but great together. I mean, it's chemistry.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Yeah,
That's
and
and it's cool.
oh, it's so
You're sorry.
cool. I love seeing the two of
Yeah.
them together. Like, yeah, it works for
Well,
them.
it's cool too that he was into the alternative,
Oh,
homeopathy and just, like a
if
different.
I was on it,
They
yeah,
don't
I would.
allow that anymore. Like that's against
Oh,
regulations, right? It's
he kept doing it after the suspension. They're like, shh, okay, under the table, nobody knew. But we told his patients, look, you know,
it's
don't
it's
talk
it's like
about
the
it because
schooling,
oh,
Pat. It's like the
yeah,
schooling system because
yes,
if you think about it,
yes,
like if you're gonna be
yeah,
a teacher, like I could teach kids for sure, but I
yeah.
would throw out the curriculum right away. Like,
because your
throw away your
conscience,
books, kids.
right?
Yeah.
Because your
But you
conscience won't let
can't
you
do
sleep.
that. Yeah, you
No,
can't do that though, right?
no,
Like
no.
the
You
same with
naughty,
the
naughty.
medicine. No,
No,
no. Got to be
it's so
Rockefeller
control.
medicine.
It's so control. Yeah, totally, 100% allopathic. They were the designers, but it's hard. And my daughter should have
Mhm.
been starting medical school. She knows I'm totally I'm not into the allopathic. It's hard because she's always wanted to be a doctor since she was 5. I don't know where she got that, probably from her dad,
Mhm.
not from me. Uh, I realized with her that doctors are double brainwashed if they're TV people. If they watch TV, especially if they're news junkies, they're double brainwashed.
Mm, you're
My
right.
daughter's not. She's not really a news junkie, but she likes a couple of odd shows on, or
Mhm.
that whenever she has downtime, and so she was brainwashed and a half. It, it's hard. Like when this first all started, her and I kind of locked horns, but then we have a great relationship. We rarely lock horns, but we do debate, and we have
Mhm.
some fiery debates sometimes. So I was saying, there's the vaccine coming, and she's like, "Oh, mom, you anti-vaxxer," sort of tone, right?
Yeah,
Ah,
exactly.
and I'm like, Lauren,
Exactly.
you're young and you're smart, but you don't know. You
Mm,
don't know. It's just because
it's
it's so deep. Like, another good point Paul Mack made was that people don't want to go that deep. It's mind bending, yes. When
yeah.
something is so twisted, you go, no. Yeah, it takes a long time to digest, to
Yeah.
analyze, to sort. So you can only get in snippets at a time, right?
Yeah.
So I've been
Yeah.
giving my daughter snippets. I noticed now, a few months later, she's slowly coming around. You know,
That's good.
I think this
Yeah.
pause because her hospital. She was working at a hospital. She also works at a clinic, and she does some tutoring. So financially, she's doing some online courses for the pre-med for the medical school and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but now she's sort of like, yeah, okay, look. I would give her some videos just to wake her up about. Now here, look at Fauci, please. Can you tell me this is a diet? And she would tell me, stop. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. I got stressed. It's stressful enough. And she's right. It's stressful enough with all this crap going.
Oh
She doesn't
yeah.
need me giving her little wake up videos.
Well, that's it though,
So
because maybe, it's one of those things. Is like, would it help, if she didn't believe all the stuff that, or I mean, is she being more stressed by what they're doing to all of us than
uh,
by?
now
Is it
she
a
is.
combination of the two, kind of, right? Like, where
Yeah,
it's like,
she's slowly coming to reality.
yeah,
She knows that it's that the mainstream media. She no not not in no way indoctrinated in the media, but she can't believe that the medical side is doing this. You see,
yeah,
she's
yeah,
because she doesn't watch the news. She's not that far off, but she's having a hard time accepting the reality of the medical mafia and the
yeah.
vaccinators, and that it's all business. And I that's where she's so balanced, which because she knows I know business.
Well,
And
we haven't had anything like this where
I know.
where it's been like the medical world has taken over, right? So it's not like it's happened over and over again and people have grown wise to it or something. Like this is the first big time where everyone is forced to comply with this
Yeah.
sort of medical tyranny. So it is
Yeah.
unprecedented. So I think in a
So
way, a lot of people still have that trust, that sort of blind trust in an authoritarian sort of, mindset where it's like, well, they know, my doctor knows best, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not, again, like if your doctor's watching CNN,
And they
right?
do. They do. They
Yeah,
watch Gupta.
that's it.
I want
Yeah.
to, that's where my eggs come from. Like smart people can be brainwashed. Period.
Yeah,
Because people have a hard time with that
absolutely.
too. Oh, can't be. It's a PhD. So, a
That's it,
PhD does
right?
not
A
guarantee
PhD.
common sense. Common
People
sense.
with Yeah,
is
people with a PhD too could be blinded by their own arrogance, like into
I worked
thinking,
with
"Well,
them.
I know more about you, and I know more
I
about
worked
way
with
more."
them. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. I rubbed
yeah.
shoulders. I had meetings, and people also have really no solid idea of how the executive level works on Wall Street and on Bay Street. You know,
Mm,
you get to a certain level where if you're not a psychopath, you soon will be. Because
there you go.
they
Yeah.
ingrained it in, and there's so much inside information going. Like we know when they when they crucified Martha Stewart, I thought, oh, she pissed somebody off because
Mhm,
inside in trade it goes on all the time. It's the norm on the
mhm.
backside of Wall Street, Bay Street. Yeah, but still, they hung her up to dry. Like how come her investment manager didn't go with her? Didn't he
Mm,
recommend the deal? I mean, it's absurd. And
yeah.
I get heated with this. And people now go, Pat, when did you wake up? And I always say, I never slept. I I grew up with this shit. It was like
Yeah.
I worked for a doctor. I was in the military. The Canadian military. I'm talking about Canadian.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I it was interesting to meet these people because I'm a people person. I
Mhm.
love to know where you're from. What did you do? And I'm not impressed by titles in any way. I want to see the person holding that title. What's he
Yeah,
all
yeah.
about? I had so many titles at the bank. I can't tell you. Still same me, paying the same money.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's really hard for me to try to get people to just don't fear the reaper. 'Cause
Yeah. Fear is the mind killer, right?
it's a mind killer. So
Yeah.
because that's how they operate on Bay Street and Wall Street. It's all about fear. Oh,
Yeah.
if I make a bad deal, I'm screwed. Oh, fear, power, control, fear. It's
Yeah.
constant. And I grew up with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
That's that well,
really,
it works. That's the I mean,
it's a
unfortunately.
successful
Yeah.
business model. Yes.
Exactly. That's why
And
psychopaths thrive on Bay Street, right? Like,
thrive. Oh, that's the
yeah.
only way you can get to that
Mhm.
level, executive,
It's
vice president, blah, 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 chairman of the board. See, you have to have some
yeah.
inherent narcissism or some kind of psychopathy because
It's the same with the street gangs.
you won't succeed otherwise, and
It's
they'll
it's
squash you.
it's
In a
it's hilarious
nut-
because it's
in a-
exactly the same with street gangs, right? Like the
yeah,
same sort of psychopathy rises to the
yes,
top. It's and
it's
in law enforcement as well. Like
oh
it's they're
yeah.
breeding psychos basically. That's great that you have that experience with Bay Street though, because that really is
Well, I
that
learned
is
it.
eye opening, right?
Yeah, and honestly, I look and it's like, I grew up between three brothers, two older,
Hmm.
one younger, in a
Hmm.
sort of, slightly hairy area of Toronto called Cabbage Town, if you're familiar.
Yep.
So, drugs aplenty, booze aplenty,
Hmm.
you name it, around there. But we lived sort of seven. My dad had a house. There's six of us, and
Right.
and really nobody messed with me because I had three brothers.
Hmm.
But that
Yeah.
that environment and my brothers and my dad, they were very practical blue worker, hardworking blue collar workers.
Right.
It sort of calloused me for the future career because if you're not, girly girls go nowhere on Bay Street. No,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
have to have a tough skin. You have to be callous, which I was, but it wasn't nasty and me psychopathic.
Yeah.
I only got as far as assistant manager.
Well, I think
But
you're lucky you didn't get further because you'd still be
yeah,
there probably,
yes,
and then
because I
right
saw that,
you're far away now
yeah,
from Bay Street.
middle management is the best view, Jeff, because you
Yeah,
see what's below you. You look at the monsters above you, and you go, God, I gotta
I bet.
protect the people below me if they don't know. Yeah, and you also see how people's almost their nature overnight changes, like just the quick because it's all part of the psychology thing.
Yeah.
There was a supervisor who, for a long time, she was really whip cracking, nasty, foul mouth. I'm telling you, supervisor, and plenty of people complained about her. Two people actually named her as a reason for resignation, but they loved her. They kept her around because she works.
Yeah.
she's the bull,
Yeah.
So when her and I were both at the same level, both supervisor, and I used to see the clients and people would grumble about her to me, and it was there for everybody to see that she was not a nice leader. But when I rose up and went to, we were parallel, always parallel. I became assistant manager. So when she interacted with the executive or the elites, she was so humble. She was so ass-kissing, completely different psyche. It blew my mind. Because how can people change in overnight like that? Because now they're with the higher class, or they're impressed by that suit and that title, and I never was. Because like for me, they're people in suits. Because I'm a talker, and when you go to these launch parties and end this whatever reason, they have so many reasons for parties, project launches and project ends. You would see them outside the office sphere after a couple of drinks, and they're just human. Most of them are asshole humans, but they're people. They have the same cavities, they dump their waste same way as you do, and that's how I saw them at that level.
Yeah.
I know.
That's good that you woke up to it and you escaped the belly of the beast there.
They never let me. I never got. God didn't let me sleep. Damn it! I'm tired. I've seen this. It's hard for me to see it come to fruition because I really didn't think they could pull it off. But I'm not sure they have yet. So I like to stay positive, which is why I watch your channel, Jeff. Because you make me laugh, and laughter is the best medicine. Natural. No side effect.
That's the way I get through
totally
it, right?
Tested. No facts.
I mean, I'd be losing my skull if I didn't laugh it off at times. It's so disturbing,
it's so
right?
Insane. It's so insane. But it is so much about people's psychology and this, beast that's forcing them. But how do I, I just need to know best way to get people to just stop fearing, and really, ideally, the only way should be to, inform them because knowledge is power. And the more you know, the less you fear. But they don't want to know. And if I can, my older brother and my brother-in-law are older than me, they are CNN junkies. I can't say that. I was wearing a mask with them before a mask was mandatory because I can't say nothing. If I do, they're like, "What planet are you on? That your mask on."
The planet doesn't watch CNN.
I love them, but and I've only had a little tangle with my brother-in-law because he tried to say, "How can you, deny it? Look at the numbers on CNN." It took a lot of strength for me to not just blow. I composed myself and I said, "Why do you believe those numbers? Because they said so."
Yeah. Just show them the latest. Show them that 94% of the CDC. You can show them that next time. Say, look, the CDC admitted that 94% of all CDC or all COVID deaths had underlying issues. So
I know.
That'll.
Well, these weasels are gonna have to let it out soon because it's coming undone. So they're trying to snivel out of it slowly. Oh, okay, well, maybe we're wrong here. Oh, sorry. That's what's happening right now. Yeah,
okay,
it's sickening.
Well, I'm gonna have to move on to the next person here, Pat. But I hope that you can stick around. Yeah, and jump in. If you're around a little bit later, we'd love to have you come back and discuss with everyone because we opened the whole thing up.
Okay, you know what? I'll do that, Jeff, because love talking to you. It almost feels like you're live. But you are live. But pretty vocal.
Yeah, we are. This will be live, or this will be available later for everyone, sort of thing. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I might check in about half an hour or so. Go make myself a Mary.
Awesome. It's so nice to hear your voice because I see your avatar all the time, right? So it's so nice to hear your voice.
Yeah.
So
such a
thanks so much.
Talking to you, Jeff.
All right. Take care.
Hey, yo. Stay real. Okay. Bye.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Awesome. We're gonna go to next here. I have to take you out there. Hell on Wheels. Hey, Wheels, what's happening?
Hey man, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm about as good as you can be in
Yeah.
your crazy time.
Do you want to let folks know whereabouts you are? You can say just country or state.
Yeah, I
if you want.
actually was gonna mention that because I live in New Jersey, and
Okay.
for any of you guys who don't know, it's fucking crazy here. Like, New Jersey is as bad as New York when it comes to supposedly when it comes to cases, and in some ways it's actually worse with restrictions. And so my Governor Murphy here is like a tyrant. We're the only people in the country that don't even have indoor dining or anything right now, and he's trying to do everything he can to keep everything shut. So it's unbelievable to me. He's literally, like, right now, I'm not gonna give too much about my area, but my area is now I think the poorest area in the entire country, thanks to him.
Good Lord.
So things are getting really bad here, and
Do you have BLM on top of that happening?
I'm in a small area, but the nearest area that we have here, the nearest big area, we did have some BLM activity. Yes,
Okay.
they actually shut down that city for a while. I had a 4th of July party at my house, and one of my good friends that lives there couldn't make it because they literally shut all in and outgoing traffic.
Okay. I just want to intervene here for a sec. Pat, if you could drop out, if you could do us a favor and leave the room here, because we're just people trying to get in. So I'm trying to get every person that already came on to just drop out temporarily, at least, so we can get the people that haven't got it. Thank you so much, Pat. I really appreciate that. All right. So whoever might be trying to get in, there should be an empty space now. Yeah, Wheels. Geez, it sounds like maybe you're getting pretty stressed by this as well. I mean, is this taking a toll on you personally, or?
Yeah, it has been. I lost my job, which I'm trying to get I'm trying to get things back together. Luckily, I'm actually physically disabled as well.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, and I was able to luckily get disability to come through in the meantime while I'm
That's
looking
good.
for another job. But let me just tell you, because I know you've talked about the disabled stuff before, and I'm just going to tell you, as somebody who has been disabled my whole life, you're absolutely right about how programmed people with disabilities are. It drives me crazy because we're like the first targets for eugenics, and these people are like cheering it on. They're like, yeah, we need the government to have more control of our healthcare. Yeah, we need to be like we need to be programming people into, like, we need video games to be more accessible. We need this and that. I'm like, no, you need to be fighting for the outside world to be accessible. You need there are actual a lot of legitimate issues that do affect disabled people. I can tell you firsthand how much we're discriminated against. But at the same time, I also have a thick skin because I had to learn to live with that stuff, and I don't come from the best background either. So I kind of learned to grow up and live with it. So I'm the last person you're going to see that goes, "Oh, I'm in a wheelchair. I feel so bad. Please feel bad for me."
Yeah. I mean, I've got friends in wheelchairs, and I know how difficult I don't even know. None of us could really know unless we're in that situation, because it doesn't go away. It's like pretending to be blind for 5 minutes, right? And thinking that you know what it's like to live that life. None of us really fully know that. But I think what they do and what they're doing systematically is making every demographic a victim, right? And convincing because that leads to more government, right? If you can convince, young people that they're victims of, say the boomers, for instance, or you can, convince minorities that they're victims of, say, white supremacy and white privilege and all this. And this is their cultural Marxist sort of methodology for mind control, because what it leads to is way more people demanding more government because that's ultimately the only solution that's provided, right? It's not like they really want to make your lives better. They just want to use you to bring in more government, which means more control. And what we're seeing is just government, the corporatocracy itself, just taking like a giant blob, taking control of every element of society. And that's why they're able to do something like this, what's happening right now, because they're just, even though they don't really have technically the power to do what they're doing, like if everybody said no, it would stop tomorrow, or it would stop right now. But it's because so many people are in the belief system and already have that authoritarian sort of mindset that you have to do what the authorities tell you, that they buy into this. So it's quite something that's going on. And yeah, I mean, like New Jersey too, I've heard, I know you've been messaging me and things have been really bad there. And we had somebody on last month that was in New Jersey as well, talking about the gym. I think it was that's been like one of the big
yeah. So what happened with that was that Governor Murphy is suing a gym owner. I don't remember where, but I think it's near where I am, for opening a gym a day early or something like that. So he was trying to sue the gym owner for that, and actually a couple of businesses are suing him. So like honestly, I hope something goes through with it.
Yeah.
Somebody needs. I don't know if you've seen what this Governor Murphy guy looks like, but he looks like a horse, dude. Like I was like, I always joke with people. I'm like, hey, why doesn't somebody just like drop a bale of hay for him in his mansion, see if he can get him to leave us alone.
Yeah, I see him now. He's got a horse face. Oh my god.
He does, Mr.
Maybe
Ed.
you should go out to stud with Susan. You know Susan Wojcicki?
Yeah. They do love their authoritarianism, both of them.
I want to show folks what this guy looks like. I hadn't really seen him before, but I was like, wow, yeah, he totally has a horse face. That's hilarious. Maybe that's why he's so such a dictator, right? He's just had to suffer all his life with his crappy horse
Revenge
face.
of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Bill Gates and
Are you finding are there people in your neighborhood and your family and friends and stuff that are awake of what's going on or questioning this? Or
well, yeah, some of them, because I've been awake for a long time. I just found your channel in 2016, but I was really like, my awakening journey started at 2008 maybe. So but I found the Agenda 2030 stuff years ago, and I was telling people, hey, look, this is happening, for like at least 5 or 6 years. I've been telling people that, so for most of that time, I've been, hearing you crazy, you're conspiracy theorist, you're this, you're that. But now some of my family members that I was desperately trying to wake up before were like, they sat me down and they're like, hey, so all that stuff that you said, that you were telling us and you were telling the rest of the neighborhood, we were all discussing it, and some of the people in my local area and my grandparents and stuff were all saying how all the stuff I was telling them is coming true, and they should have listened before.
That's good though. Better late than never. And
that is true.
Now would be the best time, like, for anybody to wake up right now. Because this is the real deal, right? I mean, it's like, you wake up now and maybe we have a chance if we get enough of these people.
And I've been mostly through word of mouth, because I'm not that good at making videos, but I talk to a lot of local people, or try to, and I've tried to plant seeds, and that's always been my method. But now people are telling me, like, okay, now I see what you're talking about. What else can you tell me about it?
That's good though. That's much better than I don't want to hear it. Stop talking to me.
that used to be the biggest thing. I would try to tell, like, especially my mom or something. She'd be like, stop thinking about this stuff. She'd literally tell me I think too much.
Yeah.
And she would tell me, no, you need to stop. I don't want to know.
Yeah, I get that all the time. I know exactly what you're going through, and it's because it's overwhelming. I think for a lot of people, like you can get some people to start to question things, and then maybe they'll agree with you on certain things, but then like the overwhelming sort of feeling that their whole paradigm is falling apart is too much to handle, right? Because if you're like, well, if the television's lying to me, what else have they lied to me about, and
Yeah.
how long, and oh boy, and I know a lot of people in that situation where it's like their whole world would collapse because that's their belief system. I mean, your belief system is built, you have your regular sort of news programs that you watch, you have your magazines that you're subscribed to, you have the websites that you go to, and all of a sudden something comes in and tries to challenge that to tell you, know what, you're in a controlled system, it's all, that can be a little bit too much for people to handle, but at least you're having success now. Now
Yeah,
you just have to,
absolutely.
yeah, just, but yeah, I think with family too, they want what's best for you and they don't want you to overstress things, but there's this kind of fine line where it's like, okay, yeah, I agree, you shouldn't overstress. And I say this to everybody, so everyone that's listening to this now or listening to it later, if you're feeling just overwhelmed with stress, that's a sign, right? Don't ignore that sign, listen to that sign. It's the time to take a good breather, like get out of the city, or go on a little trip, or get in nature, just detox, get away from this, take a break, take a breather, and just allow yourself to recuperate, because it is very stressful. I think all of us are feeling it. It's like I just did the article there on the pod people sort of
Oh
thing.
yeah. As soon as I found that, I sent it to you because I
Yeah,
was
it was
like,
you
oh
that
my
sent it to
god.
me, right? Oh, thank you so much, Hal. I
No
really
problem.
appreciate that. What happens sometimes, I forget because I open up so many links that people are sending me, and then I have all these links up, and I'm like, okay, which one am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to do this one. But I really appreciate that. I appreciate all the stuff that you've been sending. You've been really good with that. And
Yeah, no problem. There's stuff that I want to put up on my channel as well, but then I'm like, you know what? Why don't I get as many eyes on this as possible?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's what I do.
that's
So
great. Yeah, you should try to do videos if you can, but it's always good if you're gonna send, like, there's different ways to help get this out, and one of the ones is to hit people like me and send us the links
yeah,
and whatever, and sometimes we'll have the audience to be able to reach with it, sort of thing. But
yeah.
it's
I'm actually working on a video now. It was something that one of your podcasts inspired me to do. It was about the people with disabilities and the programming with that, because I
Mhm.
figured I had a good
Yeah.
perspective. So I started looking into all these different like big projects that are supposed to be for like disability rights.
Hmm.
If you look at their sites and stuff, it's all, we must dismantle capitalism because it's like
Yeah.
it's all that.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
just look because they'll say, "Oh, it's putting, we got to dismantle capitalism because you're at a disadvantage if you have a disability." And I'm like, "Well, no shit, that's what a disability is."
Newsflash. I mean, it's some of the stuff I see, like, because I am very sympathetic. Like I said, like, for instance, like with disabled people, like I said, like, it doesn't make sense for an old building to spend $2 million to make a ramp, just for the occasional thing, because that's like a misallocation. But it does make sense for a new building to be built to definitely make it so that disabled people can come in the front door, like with dignity, right, sort of thing.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I wouldn't even care, as a disabled person, if I had to go through the back entrance or whatever on an older building because that's how they could make it work in the most cost-effective way. I wouldn't give
yeah,
a shit
yeah,
about that, but it's just people expecting, 200-year-old buildings to do like
yeah.
a whole entire renovation. Like there are ways for us to get into buildings that don't require them changing everything.
And I find a lot of disabled people, like, they don't want to be treated like they don't want to feel like they're disabled. They want to be able to just, move about and do their things and not be treated like, oh, with kids gloves and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
I'm one of those. I'm one of those people. Like
Yeah.
my disability's obvious. I tend to but I try to do my best with it. Like I go back and forth between the manual and the electric wheelchair when I can.
Yeah.
And like there's different things I can do. Like actually during this whole thing, I find myself jumping in my manual chair a lot to clear my head. But
Yeah. That's
I
great. So you go out in the neighborhood sort of thing and get some
I do.
exercise? That's
Yeah.
great.
I can't handle it super long, but but the thing is it keeps my body as strong as it can be, and then because I don't ever want to get to a point where I'm completely screwed without an electric chair.
Yeah. I think that's very wise.
But it's but yeah, I really hate the victim mentality that comes with the disabled community, because there is a lot of that, and there's oh, well, able-bodied person said this to me or whatever. Like, listen, I worked with the public. I heard stupid, ignorant comments all day, and I dealt with it, and it was fine. I probably went home. I probably went out of earshot and laughed at how stupid whatever somebody said to me was.
Yeah. That's the right attitude. See, that's, to me, that's it. Like look, I know a lot of people that, like I've known, really old people that just have the right attitude, for instance, right? That even despite all the negative things that they might have in their health, they just have a positive attitude. And I think a positive attitude is so essential. Like you talk about what really is making people sick, and depression and mental illness, which, most of it is coming from the television, coming from the beast itself. And people think they're being programmed into, oh, it's normal to be this way. Well, no, you shouldn't be unhappy. You should, you should be doing things that make you feel better, right? And like in your case, getting out, getting some exercise, getting some fresh air, really important. Like you should try to do that as much as you can, because I think no matter what, it doesn't matter if you're disabled or you're not disabled, you're old or you're young or you're, whatever situation you might be in, anyone is going to benefit from getting some exercise, and it's just common sense sort of thing. And so that's really good to hear that you have that mentality, and you see through a lot of the conditioning that they're using, I suppose, on a lot of disabled people that, condition them into that victim status, much like they do with the women and the Black Lives Matter and stuff.
I mean, they've got so many of them convinced that, again, there is discrimination and stuff, so there is some truth to what's being said. But and I can tell you plenty of horror stories of my own, but when you start telling disabled people that the only way for them to be okay is for everybody else to be as poor and miserable as they make us is just absolutely ridiculous. That, and the way that they condition people with these words too. It's like, I own the word cripple. I use cripple to describe myself, and people get mad at me for it. People with working legs will literally be like, why would you use that word? Oh my God. And so I'll tell people, own that word. Own it. Because the only reason you get so worked up over that word is because you were programmed to get so worked up over that word.
Yes.
And you were programmed to get so worked up when people say something to you, because I swear they're so conditioned. So many of them are so conditioned, they'll jump at you if you say even something a little wrong, or even something like, hey, don't dismantle capitalism. It's not capitalism that's the problem. It's the fact that we're all fighting for the wrong things.
Yeah. It reminds me, I don't know if you've ever seen Game of Thrones. But
I avoided that like the plague.
Okay, that's good. I'm not going to tell you to watch it, but the midget character in the show, he actually, because there's a boy that's disabled, right? He becomes paralyzed from the waist down, sort of thing, and so they he goes to him to give him advice, and he says, wear your disability as a badge of honor, right? And otherwise people will use it against you forever, right? Like, don't feel shame, be who you are, right? I'm a midget, and everywhere I go, you know, like people are calling me the imp or whatever like that. But like he doesn't let it affect him. Like he becomes stronger because of it, right? He becomes stronger because he stands up to it and doesn't let it get under his skin or doesn't let it bother him, sort of thing. So you have the right attitude for sure.
Yeah, I see the disability. Like, obviously, I'm not stupid. It is a disadvantage in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
at the same time, because I have this disability, I'm actually more independent, according to like physical therapists and stuff, than I really should be with my diagnosis. I'm even working on getting a driver's license right now.
Awesome. You should definitely get that. That would be awesome. I had a friend in high school who is paralyzed, and he had a special van that he booted around in, and he actually got it. I don't know, he got it when he's like 15 or something like that, but he used to drive everywhere with it. It was pretty cool. And so I think that would be really great for you. You know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm taking my road test on the 10th.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you, Hal.
Thank
And
you.
I'm going to have to move on now, but I hope you can come back a little bit later to join in the big discussion.
Oh yeah, I'll be back in a little bit, dude.
Yeah,
See you
awesome. So
later.
maybe you can jump out of the room, because there are people that keep trying to get back in here. So we do have other people that want to come on.
I got you.
But awesome talking to you, Wheels. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you, talking a little bit later with you again. Okay.
All right, see ya.
All right. Thanks so much. All right. Awesome. And yeah, Hell's been around for a while, so it's really Hell. That's why I call her Wheels. But yeah, Uncool Paranoia. There you are. All right. It's very Uncool. What's up? What's up, Uncool? You down in Detroit? Uncool. I can hear you moving around. There you are. You got your mask on. Yeah, it's really good. You sound like most people now.
I'm trying to stop asymptomatic infection spread to myself.
Yeah, there
okay?
you. That's it. You're forward thinking. You're just way ahead of everyone else. You know.
Yeah, I'm preparing to get my vaccines, because you know all of you conspiracy theorists out there.
Yeah.
You know, saying the vaccines are going to be bad for you, but I'm ready to get my vaccine.
Yeah,
so.
you want double down, double doses. Come on, load them up. Get that Bill Gates in my body.
Man, one thing I got to tell you, Jeff, I've been trying to tell you all evening that the chat link doesn't work. So I don't think anybody's watching the show right now. You need a patron?
Hang on. Okay, so let's see here. Oh my gosh, there's like, okay, let's see here. You know what? I know what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna fix this here. How can I fix this? I'll go to StreamYard, and I'll go to settings. Where is it? Settings. And general. Nope, I can't change that. Maybe I have to do it through YouTube.
Yeah, it's like
because you know what I did. Yeah, I know what I did. I know what it did, because I thought private, and then now I realize, you know what? That's stupid, because it's unlisted is what I was supposed to do. Oh my God, I'm terrible. All right, see if that works now. Okay, so all you guys listening, maybe take a check now to see if it's if I feel terrible.
Yeah, I think it's been that way the entire show. Like no one can get in.
Oh man, I feel so bad now. I was wondering, why is there nobody there? Oh, that's why.
And I think everyone you spoke to was already in the private room before they noticed, so they didn't know.
And there's people like constantly trying to get in the room here. Like every 5 seconds, there's somebody's trying to get in the room message coming up here. So thank you so much, Uncool, for informing me about that. Hopefully now, let's see now. Can anybody confirm? Is it? Can you get in there now on the show? And it's hard because like when I'm doing the show, I don't go back to I'm paying attention, you know, and I'm engaged in the discussion here, and I don't go back to now I'm going to go back to my Patreon here, and I'll probably see a bunch of messages. Jeff, it doesn't work. So it's frozen now, Patreon. Okay, so anyways, hopefully that's working now. No, not yet, says Susan M. Okay, hang on a second here. Settings. I don't know if I can change it, because maybe it's because the show started. And
yeah, that might be it.
It might be too late. Oh, that sucks. Okay, so
That sucks.
There's nothing else I could do right now, folks, because then I would have to stop the show and restart it. I mean, I could do that, but then we get everything messed up. So unfortunately, my bad. And thank you, Uncool, for informing me. And the only thing I can say is, we'll rotate, so we'll get everybody in, and then afterwards the show will be available for everyone. So that's any consolation.
Players messed up.
Yeah. All right. So what's new in blue in good old Detroit?
Oh well, Gretchen Whitmer is still torturing us. Let me see. A couple days ago.
Do you guys make sure she gets a good stock of hamsters to eat?
Something is wrong with this lady, man. Like, I legit think, man, ever since you made the connection with Diana from V, I legit think she's some kind of reptilian, man.
Yeah.
Her spirit can't be of this world for the way she acts, man. It's crazy because now they're pushing the whole vaccine thing. She actually got a flu shot live on one of her live streams.
I know. That's did she really get a shot, or is it just?
Yeah. It could have been saline or anything, but
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how could you be that evil to kind of like literally shove this down people's throats now? Like, that is just so awful. Like, these people are gonna pay for this for real, man. Like, that is just not cool.
Yeah. It's another one of these leaders that has just came out of nowhere kind of thing, right? It's like they just install these people, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, like right in time too. If I'm not mistaken, she just got in like last year. Like late last year or something like that?
Yeah, it kind of feels like she was planted. Kind of feels like an out of shadow type thing. Like,
I think so.
Like that was.
So. Did you have a Republican there before, or was it?
Yeah, we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it had to be a long time ago, but for the most part, the Dems had Michigan locked down for the most part. But
what about with is she like? I know I'm trying to think. Recently with Michigan with gun control, have they been going heavy on that as well?
Yeah, they're trying to, and especially with ammo purchasing. Like, you're only limited 2 boxes of ammo at certain locations when you go to the gun stores and the gun ranges and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're hammering down. But our gyms and stuff still aren't open. So there's a huge movement here to recall her emergency powers. You're trying to repeal the 1945 Act. There's a whole movement called Stand Up Michigan.
Yeah.
And they are going full speed. I think they're up to like maybe 300,000 signatures on a petition to kind of repeal that. They are working hard to repeal her emergency powers. So.
Is it a White House petition?
No, it's a private thing.
Okay.
It's a private thing by the people, as far as I know. But a lot of them, they might kind of be kind of right wingish, if you ask me, but not fully woke. But they understand that their rights are being infringed. So I can fall behind it because, for the most part, the movement is saying the right thing, that it's not right for you to be locking people down and then having people lose their businesses over something that's 0.4% death rate.
Yeah.
So I can understand the sentiment behind it, for real. So it's pretty wild here.
Right.
And, and one other thing, especially with this whole Chadwick Boseman thing, man.
Chadwick Boseman. I never even heard the name before. It's like, who the hell is Chadwick Boseman?
No. I mean, it is unfortunate for anybody, for death, especially from cancer, to wither away the way he did. I mean, who knows what really went on? It's really sad if that is the case. Prayers to the family or whatever. But I think what they're doing with that, we are literally witnessing the textbook example of a Freemasonic ritual being done on a mass scale on everybody. So I feel like they're kind of putting everybody through a psychological operation, like whiplash of some sorts, if you would, especially Black people, because they know Black people are easily controlled through emotions, like emotionally manipulated when it comes to the whole white supremacy thing and all of that. And for them to keep the cancer thing silent, and then how Black people specifically worshipped the whole Wakanda thing, and then bam, he died of cancer. It's like the perfect way to bring stress and everything in the middle of all of this. So
it's crazy. I did the live show yesterday, And I said, I'm never gonna watch Black Panther, right? Never gonna watch it. And then last night, I actually put it on. I probably made it like because like I multitask, right? So I'm doing other things, but I made it about halfway through, and I'm like, this movie's retarded, and it was just really bad. But like I was right, like I didn't even really know about the women, but then I was seeing the film, and the women all shave their heads, and they're actually like the honor guard of the king or whatever, right? And they have like this secret technology, and they've kept themselves hidden from the rest of the world, but they're so more advanced, but they don't want to share it because if they do, then everyone will know, and then they'll lose their way of life and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, wow. It's I got about halfway through and I was like, oh, I can't watch anymore.
Yeah, I kept falling asleep on it, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't think I've ever made it through the whole movie. I tried to watch it.
They're all kind of bad though, eh? Like all the comic book movies. I mean, some of them are a little bit more watchable than others, but I just find like they're just trying to shove so many agendas into them, and they're such a product of a huge, like, where movies used to be, like somebody would make a movie and then maybe it'd make a sequel if it was popular or whatever, and maybe it'd take the story in a new direction. But the Marvel whole thing, the cinematic universe, it's like this huge thing that they whip together in boardrooms, and this is where these characters should go. This is where then we're going to do this, and then we're going to move on to these characters. Yeah. There's nothing organic about it. It's like this, their movies were never made like this up until now, right? Now it's like, and that's what I think these movies, like what really puts me off on these films, sort of thing. Is that
I kind of have a theory about it though, because me personally, I believe in the Bible, so I believe in the Most High. So my thing is with the symbolism behind the word Marvel itself and the idea of a superhero, it's kind of teaching everybody to revel or marvel or to idolize and idol worship these beings. And kind of what these elites are trying to do is to fundamentally like separate us from the body of Christ, to edit our DNA with GMO, 5G, all of that, to change us and separate us and have us cheer for that, separate us from the body of Christ, to change our DNA so we're no longer human. Yeah. So this whole Marvel thing kind of feels like that. Like that's the idea behind it. Oh, I'm doing my Bill Gates thing. I see my hands keep moving. Like, well, I just noticed it. Oh my God, my hands are moving.
Learn to kind of talk a little bit more like Bill, and
got my Ricky Bobby doing my Talladega Nights. Like I don't know what to do with my hands. So,
that's hilarious. Whenever I do the Bill Gates, I can't help it. I gotta move because it doesn't work unless you move your
right. It doesn't work.
It's the only way to do it.
Right. Yeah. So, and I just think that's what's going on with the whole Wakanda thing, and it was just kind of interesting that all of that happened in the middle of all of the BLM uprising and all of that. I think that's what that could have represented. And I think it was Phoenix Cat that commented on my post I put on your Patreon about how there's a viral photos of kids sitting their Marvel toys around in a circle, and the kid have the Black Panther laying in the middle, and they're doing this like yeah, and that kind of feels like a Masonic gesture. I agree with Phoenix Cat. I think she put it on there. Like that's so crazy. That spirit is coming over everybody, and on top of the spirit of fear with the whole mask thing and Kobe thing, and I don't know, man. It's just
I think they got the New Mutants now, which is the newest film. And I know as a kid I had the comics, so it's like this is what the New Mutants actually kind of represents, the new generation of kids, right? That they're all being brought up so damaged by everything, like the foods and the media and everything else, and they're angry. All of that. They're angry, and all the characters outside are so cardboardish, right? Like I don't even have to see the film to know how it would play out, right? You'd have your typical sort of characters that are just two-dimensional sort of thing. But yeah, I think that like so much of that programming in the kids is just everywhere. It's like this convincing of them that they're going to be the generation that brings about the change, when in a way it's kind of true, but it's not the change that
Yeah, not the change that we want.
no, and not even the
Yeah,
change that they want if they
yeah.
actually know where it's all going, sort of thing. Because
There's definitely going to be change, but buddy,
yeah. So
yeah.
you got anything else you want to put on before we go on?
No, I think I'll go ahead and leave room for somebody else. Just want to say what up.
I think you could stay in the room. I don't know if there's still space, but yeah, you can, just come back later, of course, when we get the group show. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely, I'm on it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
So
Jeff.
cool to see you, Uncool.
Sure.
All right. Talk soon. All right.
All right.
We're going over to Phoenix Cat. Hey,
Hi.
Phoenix.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Having a great time doing the discussion here, and how are things down south? You were in, is it? Let me remember here. Not Louisiana. Is it Louisiana?
No, it's Alabama.
Alabama. Okay, I knew that. How are things going? Are you still keeping busy I hope, with the hairdressing?
Well, I've got my arm broke, so I can't do hairdressing right now. I broke my wrist.
So you can't work, obviously, then.
No, I'm off until at least October.
Did you ask for a transhumanist limb or something?
What? They're gonna put like a metal plate in my wrist. I didn't ask for it.
Okay. I was joking. Okay, so you have to have a metal plate put in? Oh, you poor thing.
No, I'm gonna have one Friday. I had to go today for the pre-admissions, so they actually had a COVID test.
Okay.
So that was very interesting. If you ever had a COVID test, I can tell you how it goes. It's stick that shit up your nose.
It's the brain tickler?
Yeah, it definitely is a brain tickler. My nurse was actually very nice. She's like, I'm not going to stick all the way up like they told us to. I'm just going to. So it was quick, but I was just like, and I guess she said, give or take 48 hours. If I don't hear anything, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
If I hear something, I have COVID.
So
just hope I don't have COVID. So.
Yeah.
Which so I can't have surgery,
Yeah, that's right. So, oh man, that's terrible. You got in a car accident.
Yeah. I was on my way to work,
and
I was at a red light, got the green arrow to turn, and someone either stopped in time or they ran the red light and ran right into me.
So, would they hit you in the passenger or the driver's side?
Hit me on the driver's side. I was driving, of course, and then, of course, the airbag that deployed. I'm driving with my right hand, which I'm dominant, and the airbag hit me on the hand and made it go backwards.
Oh my gosh!
So that's how my wrist broke, and they said it was my distal radius. It's twisted 45 degrees.
Oh boy!
So that's why they have to go in and do surgery on it.
Oh my!
I mean, I just took some pain pills, so I feel good now.
That's good. That sucks, though. I mean, that's
oh yeah.
You know,
it's the first ever broken bone ever I had. So, and it sucks because, from earlier this year, I had to not work for 2 months because of stupid COVID shit, and then now I'll be off for another month. So,
oh, you poor
maybe it's God's way of telling me to slow down.
Well, try to take advantage maybe if you can.
Oh, yeah.
To do things that if you can do them. I know I had a broken wrist before. So I know it's like pretty hard to do things, especially if it's your writing hand.
It's my dominant hand, yeah.
Yeah, it's your dominant hand. Yeah. So you get a chance to practice with the other hand.
Well, I could actually write okay with my left hand. I just can't do nothing else. So I have to have help with everything. I'm like, but the cast they gave me is kind of nifty because I can actually take it off.
Oh,
take showers and stuff.
That's good.
But
you don't get the disgusting crusty.
Oh yeah, this is like high tech. I never had one like this. Oh, so that's why I'm sure the insurance is paying for it.
Yeah.
Hopefully the car insurance will kick in, and his car insurance will kick in. The person hit me.
We have here no fault insurance.
Really?
In Quebecistan, so it's like doesn't matter who causes the accident, and which I guess is okay. It's like me. I got hit by a motorcycle.
Oh wow!
And he just like he was in a parking lot. And he just I don't know. He gunned it and he just smashed into the driver's side. and no injury to me, right? But his
Did
bike
he
was
hurt
messed.
himself?
No, he was all right, but yeah, I don't know
Okay,
what
that's
the
good.
hell he was on, right? Because it's like, you
Well,
know, but yeah, it's no fault insurance.
well, that's just
So
because my police report, like, you go through it all and you read it, and it says there was no witnesses, so
uh
there's no one at fault, or no one to prove who was at fault. Even though when I got in a wreck, I was pinned in.
mhm.
But this actually gives me hope that everyone who tried to help me out, they were not wearing masks. So, so that's what. But all the people with the paramedics when they came out, they had masks on and
Okay.
stuff. But so I had some hope that people are not everyone's wearing a mask. And early when you were posting that thing about the pod people,
Yep.
it made me think of Sandy from SpongeBob.
Ah, okay. I don't know SpongeBob. I've
Oh,
never
because
seen it, but
okay,
I
well,
know of it.
my son watches SpongeBob, and Sandy's a squirrel. She lives underwater. She can't breathe water, so she has the dome over her head to breathe air.
Okay.
So that's
Wow.
what that's what I was,
Predictive
and also
programming.
possibly, and also was thinking Daft Punk because they always wore the helmets,
Oh, that's right. Daft Punk. They do the whatever techno dance
but they're always
music.
wearing the motorcycle helmets.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking of too.
Like Tron, right? Didn't they do
Yeah,
Tron?
yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of looked like a Tron helmet.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. And I just wanted to say that it appears the chat is open. The show is open. Oh, thank God.
Hey, yeah, I was trying to get in too because
I feel
to
so
watch
bad.
the show, you can't even watch it without being waiting to get in.
Yeah,
So
that's I messed it up because I was supposed to
you're
put
fine.
unlisted, but I was able to fix it. So I see Subdue Light is in there. So
Okay, that's good.
let people know if anybody, if you guys are out there. Hopefully, maybe I'll put a quick post here on Patreon just to let people know. I'm just going to write this right now saying show here because I feel so bad that I had
Well,
messed that up.
accidents happen.
Yeah, yeah. Even though you do this for so long, you
Oh
still
yeah.
make mental
Well, at least you
mistakes.
didn't have a show that's an hour and a half and no one heard you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's happened before too.
Oh, I know. That's what I was. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
Well,
this
there
is an
was one
interesting
time.
show."
Okay, I'm just putting Patreon show available now. There was one time I did a show. There's a few times this happened. There's one time I did a show. I was on fire too. I just like was really in the zone kind of thing, and I was all into it. And
Oh
I
yeah.
typically never look at the chat just because I'm focused, right? And
Oh yeah.
and I didn't realize, but like they had shut down the live stream, and it had
Yeah,
been
yeah.
shut down for like an hour. So I went,
Oh
I
yeah.
did an hour of lively, just ranting
Maybe
and
you
all
should
this stuff.
look what you could do sometimes if that ever happens where they just cut your stream, just record it also at the same time. Could you do
Yeah,
that or
yeah,
no? Like
yeah.
record it as you're live streaming it, so if some shit happens, you can always pop it back on.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
an idea. I know
Yeah.
that's happened to KJ before also.
Oh, you were talking to KJ. Awesome.
No, I mean I know that's happened to KJ
Oh,
before.
yes.
Where he's
Yeah.
been
Okay.
talking and that. I don't know if you saw his newest video
No.
where he was talking about predictive programming in the Black Mirror, and it was showing all the live shows now, like the NBA, the what you call it, the sports shows, the
Yeah.
VMAs, all the
The
people that's
VMAs.
in
Yeah.
the audience are live streaming, and
Yeah.
it has like little cameras and boxes, and I guess that was in the Black Mirror episode,
Oh,
which I
yeah.
noticed too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. No. Yeah. I gotta. KJ, we gotta do a show. It's always like, Jeff, we
Oh
got to
yeah,
do a weekly show, and then I don't hear from him for a while.
well that
But
happens.
yeah, it's
I
okay.
think it was
KJ's
on
great.
his website possibly, but
Yeah,
because I actually watched a little bit of the VMAs, and I can just say, yeah,
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I can't
very
watch those
satanic.
things.
Ugh.
I don't know if Call covered it, but probably right. But
I
it
saw the
used to be when those shows would go on, it would be like there would be Vigilant Christian. He'd be first.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Then it would be White Rabbit, and then it would be like Round Saturn's Eye, and it would be whoever, like KJ or whatever, and everyone
I did one.
would go.
Oh yeah, because I would watch everybody's and see who's saying something different.
Yeah, yeah.
But most of the time, it's always the same thing.
Yeah.
I watched the Lady Gaga performance.
Yeah.
And like her mask that she did during the performance was like electronic, where you could show her mouth moving, sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. It's just like,
Born this
Paul.
way. Damn. I mean, she's a psyop in herself.
Mhm.
One of the main sort of big time celebs that they use to program the youth.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
One of the songs that she sang, she was singing about 9/11, like 911.
Okay, yeah.
And I was just like, huh. Well, 911's coming up, so.
Do they have something? It could be reversed. They love the
The reversal, so it'd be 11/9.
yeah, it could be like November. But you know,
Who knows?
yeah, who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised because they've used September 11th many times, so it's not like the first time. Although you could say that about a lot of the different days. The Ides of March, they like certain dates.
Oh yeah.
Like they did 3/11, right? Like
Which
a
is
lot
my
of
birthday.
what? Yeah, really?
It was my birthday, and he announced it was national emergency. I was like, oh great.
That was the day. 3/11 was the day that they announced the pandemic.
Yeah.
For the world.
And I was like, oh great, I got a pandemic for my birthday.
Yeah, you'll always be
birthday to me.
associated with.
Well, yeah. Well, before 3/11 was associated with a tsunami.
Yeah.
The big earthquake.
Yeah.
So
Was it the Japanese one or
yeah,
the?
it was a Japanese one.
I wonder.
The one that had Fukushima.
Yep. I wonder about that one too, because like
It's still going on. I mean.
Yeah. I wouldn't like they have the power to do that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's just it's kind of silly to make conspiracies about them doing that because you really have no proof, but
exactly.
but it's one of those things. So 3/11, yeah, one of those days. But hey, we got something good from 3/11, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, I was here.
yeah, exactly.
And the van's okay. I mean, if you remember the old time van. I mean,
the what?
The 311 van.
Oh yeah, I actually, it's so weird, eh? Because like I was talking with TM Films there, and he was telling me about this band 311. I'm like, yeah, I've heard of them. And so yeah, and so maybe a few days later, I have like this giant freaking 400 CD player thing, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just.
And you finally found it.
Well, no, I was just playing songs, and this song came on. It was really is a hip hop, really catchy sort of song, and I was like, yeah, I remember this song. And then I was like, who is this band? And it was 311.
I want to say the reason why they're named 311 is because it was murder, the number for murder or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I like the 311 stuff, because like a lot of what had come out with 311 was like at first I was like, I've seen this too many times and I don't think anything's going to happen. And of course they were all saying it was going to be November the 3rd or whatever, right?
Yeah, because they do reverse stuff.
Yeah. And then they were saying things like, there's like a German guy and you see the turtle and
I know what you're talking.
And so I was like, I don't know about this, but TM was really on it and showing a lot of the synchronicities. And then sure enough, it turns out that the scamdemic was announced on that day. So I guess it did have significance.
Well, they always have certain dates.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that post I shared to you on Twitter. I think it was Nancy Pelosi going to get her hair shampooed.
Oh yeah, what happened with that?
She went to a hair salon in California.
Oh, she didn't have her mask on. That's right.
She didn't have her mask on.
Yeah.
And the hair salons are supposed to be closed.
Yeah.
And
which state was it, or city?
California.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think they're closed, but I think it can be outside services possibly. They're just on September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I didn't know I did anything wrong. Well, that's your state. She's like, oh well. Yeah.
Did you see the video where she's trying to remember Gavin Newsom's name?
No, I didn't see that.
Governor.
He needs to lay off the booze. That's all he needs to
Newsome.
do.
It's on. I uploaded to Jeff Censored Encore.
I think
Just
she also chokes on her dentures a lot of times.
yeah.
They just fall out her mouth.
Yeah, I think it's time to put her in the coffin, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. She just needs to go somewhere.
Yeah. So
That's fine.
anything crazy going on down your way? Are you still people wearing masks in your neighborhood and stuff, or is a lot of people standing up to
I
it?
have seen one guy walk. He's an older gentleman, and this reminds me of the other guy who was talking about the 75-year-old wearing a mask. And this guy is walking around our neighborhood wearing a mask, and I'm just like, stop, you know. And I think, just stop. You're
Yeah.
gonna die. But most people that who work around the neighborhood don't wear masks. It's
Good.
the elderly,
Mm.
and it's the older people, and they're the ones that's the most scared because
Yeah.
they watch the news the most, and they, you know.
Well, they feel too that they're the most susceptible because
Exactly.
the only people that are really dying are the elderly.
Yeah.
As far as we know, 94% or whatever underlying issues. So it's not even what they claim, but you can't blame them because they're at home, they're watching television, and
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 they don't have
they're,
nothing else to do. So
yeah. I feel sorry for them because I see them all
Yeah.
the time, and I talk to elderly people in my neighborhood, and I say things like, I don't think you should wear a mask, or I say, you should breathe. You're walking down the street, don't. You don't have anything to worry about. It's the summertime. It's nice.
That's why
Try
I
to be
think my
sweet.
coworker, she had an older gentleman come in, and he was wearing a mask across the parking lot, and he's like on a walker or something, and she's like, "Oh, you don't have to wear a mask outside." He's like, "But my doctor, he looks
Yeah.
like he's about to pass out. Don't wear a mask outside." And I've
Yeah.
told several people that if you want to feel comfortable, do it inside when you're around people, sure, whatever,
Right.
Outside, you got to breathe.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, just like those little bubble things. I don't see how they could breathe in that bubble. Where's the oxygen come through?
It's so
All you're breathing
disturbing.
is carbon dioxide. It kind of reminds me of, when your garage, you turn the car on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're just slowly suffocating yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And you look like a retard.
Exactly. It's like a fishbowl.
Yeah, that's right. You should go down the street with some goldfish and say, "Hey, is it okay if I put my goldfish in there?"
Or just put antennas on it or something, be like an alien head. I don't know.
Yeah. I wanted to. What I was thinking is just putting on like a snorkel with flip flops and like going to the
Exactly.
grocery store and
Well,
just
they have people who did that. You've seen the pictures.
Yeah. I know. I've seen it. I think it's hilarious. I love it when people do stuff like that because it's
Oh,
good
yeah.
to mock it, right? Because I think that if you and I've had a lot of discussions outside of my work or outside of this, right, doing this
Mhm.
work with people about flaunting the rules and how to go about it, and
Exactly.
you don't want to because you got to realize that the store employees are just they don't know, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
they're just doing their job, and you don't want to make their lives miserable or take it out on them. It's not them that are to blame, but you can kind of just play dumb
Yeah.
and have a little bit of fun maybe and maybe write a message like Camille does and many other people do write something like this is a muzzle or this is tyranny or research event
Oh, yeah.
201
See, I saw like a place where you can buy masks, and some of them say, "I'm only wearing this so I don't get fired."
yeah
I mean, that's why I was
that's
tempted to buy something like that, but I'm like,
yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
get.
smart actually. Because that's something that people would probably buy,
Yeah.
and it would give a message saying, you know what, I don't comply. But I
I'm only
have to work.
complying because I have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to, you pay your bills, and I mean I think most of what we have is this is an economic reset, right? It's
Exactly.
they're killing the old world and they're bringing in a new form of sustainable garbage,
Exactly.
right?
There was something I sent to you earlier. It was talking about all the statues they want to tear down.
Yep.
And I was just like, they're just destroying what we grew up with, the history,
Yep.
to replace it with their new history.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you said before, eventually it's going to go to churches. They're going to get rid of churches because they can't have the old religion. They have to bring in their new religion.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we all know what the new religion would be. So
yeah.
I'm just saying people need to get close to Christ because it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're
my gut feeling is that's how it's going to be.
Yeah,
And
I think
my mom is smart. She said, "I'm not getting a vaccine. I know I'm not going to get the vaccine." So, and she's actually starting to wake up to certain things. She still trusts.
great.
She still trusts Trump, and I
Okay.
can't break that from her.
Yeah,
I do like Trump for what he says sometimes,
Yeah.
but I know he's just part of the left-right thing.
Yeah.
So I just say I'm independent. I'm kind
Yeah.
of free thinker. But
Yeah.
he's better than Biden because Biden's just pushing the far. It's just.
yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know if you noticed from their speeches. One was talking about light and dark. They both were talking about light, dark, and they were referring to each other as the darkness.
Interesting.
So that's why you have to probably listen to their speeches because.
Yeah, I guess I do.
I kind of listened to it, but I just remember them both talking about the darkness, and one's the darkness, and this is Trump's fault, and this is, they just
I
point fingers at each other.
Yeah, I typically don't cover elections because
I understand why.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just.
But I do believe, like what you're saying, there's so much symbolism and
Oh yeah.
all kinds of occultish sort of little things. I mean, they're making the gestures, they're doing the hand symbols, they're some of the stuff that they'd be talking about would give clues. Trump's always making the 666. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it's maybe I mean it is entertaining. I think the two characters are pretty like Biden's like endlessly entertaining, where he's falling asleep all the time.
The last time, I want to say I might have shared it to you. It's on Twitter of him sleeping.
Yeah.
And she's trying to wake him up.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, what the. What the
It's
fuck,
so
man?
funny. It's so
He's
funny.
like, oh, he just needs to rest his eyes. I'm like, he's on TV. Don't he know? No.
Yeah.
And I guess he was supposed to be campaigning, but he only comes out for a second and goes back to his basement.
Well, when they had Hillary, she was like nearly dying, right? Like
exactly. But I think what happens when they can't keep him out for a long time is because supposedly he has dementia.
Yeah.
You ever heard of sundowning? They get worse at night.
Oh no, yeah, I know that they do, but yeah, they call it sundowning.
I think it's called that.
Yeah.
Like where they get worse at night and they have to go in.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors, so you can't see them acting a fool or whatever.
It's
if
pretty
he
crazy.
Has Alzheimer's, exactly.
Yeah, because they did it with Reagan. Reagan was going senile, right?
That was right. Well,
before Reagan was elected, there's a movie. Have you ever heard of the movie Being There?
No.
Okay, so
before my time.
I'll recommend. Well, it's before my time too, but the movie Being There, which is Peter Sellers. Do you know Peter Sellers? He plays
the actor.
Yeah,
the
Pink Panther and stuff
like that.
Yeah, Inspector
Panther,
Clouseau.
yeah.
So he's like a brilliant sort of comedic actor.
Yeah,
and
I used to like Pink Panther when I was.
Yeah. This film, I think it was around 1980.
Okay.
And in it, Peter Sellers, he's plays this character called Chelsea Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's the people that we're not allowed to talk about wrote the the book and the movie and produced it and all that. And so the story is that Chelsea Gardner is this middle-aged guy that lives in this mansion in New York City, right? He lives. It's not like a huge mansion, but it's like a wealthy home, and he never leaves the home. He just grew up in the home, and all he does is watch television, and he takes care of the garden. And then one day the owner dies and he's forced out.
Yeah.
So he's walking down the street and he's never interacted with real human beings, outside the people in the home sort of thing. So he has no social skills whatsoever. And he's a complete moron. And he carries around with him a remote because he's just glued to the television all the time.
Oh, wow.
And so he gets, held up by a bunch of a street gang, and he starts clicking the remote to try to change the channel sort of thing. So anyways, to make a long story short, this complete simpleton, by the end of the movie, he's the running candidate to be the next president of the United States.
Because I can control him.
Yeah, because he's the perfect idiot.
Well, that's kind of how I see Biden being like that.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. I think they're all kind of, well, W as well. I mean, you could say,
Oh yeah.
With Obama, look, they weren't going to put a senile,
No.
half-wit black person in, right? Because that
Oh
wouldn't
no.
go down well. So they put a very articulate, well-spoken, well-mannered, nicely presentable sort of person
Just
as,
someone they can still pull the strings on.
yeah, but yeah, of course.
He's still because
Right.
he had a history of like cocaine and of course that he's
Yeah,
gay.
yeah, oh, yeah,
They
for
hold that
sure.
over his head.
Yeah.
Of course, they always call him the first gay president because he legalized gay marriage. But
I actually predicted that he would become president like in 2000, 2002 or something like that, around
really,
there. Yeah, because I had seen him. He gave a speech at the Democratic Party caucus or whatever, and I remember
he
I
was
was
very
watching. I said,
charismatic.
yeah. And I was like, okay, I can see this guy's definitely, he's going to be likely be president. And of course, he did become president. But yeah, he's
I
kind
hope
of the exception these days because most, I mean, you can say Clinton to a certain extent, right? But W and Trump and Biden and so many of the others, the also rans as well, were all just either senile or complete morons or
Trump is just
simpletons.
an actor
Yeah,
to
yeah,
begin with. So, and people tend to forget that he was one of those people on TV that you couldn't stand, but you
yeah,
loved him too. And
yeah,
he's just the same.
yeah,
So he can
exactly.
play the same playbook, except
Well,
I don't know
you could say that Trump is an actor more than anything, and that his
exactly.
entire career, because he was born in a rich family.
Oh, yeah,
He's a spectacularly unsuccessful businessman. Like, he declared bankruptcy, I don't know, 6 or 7 times or something
something
like
like that.
that, right? Yeah. So like, it's not like he's like this wonder guy. He's got all these white elephants, right? He build
Hmm.
these things, and they'd fall apart, or they just wouldn't make any money. But yet, because of his charisma, and his ability to act and be in all these shows, he's the perfect, I guess he was the perfect candidate for the role that they had for him, sort
Oh
of
yeah,
thing. So,
he tends
um,
to do better when he's in front of a crowd too,
yeah,
because he gets the crowd into it, just kind of like Obama does
yeah,
or did.
exactly, exactly.
So
Okay,
he
well,
has that. Oh no, I gotta
oh no,
go.
sorry.
You're gonna kick me off. That's
No,
okay.
I feel bad. I feel bad because I do want to get
You're
to
fine.
some of the others, but I want you definitely stick around,
No
and
problem.
you don't have to leave the room. And again, to the folks that left, Uncool, and who else? We have Paul Mack and Pat, and anybody that wants to come back, if you can fit back in, please. You can come back right now, because we're getting through here. We've got 4 more to go, and then we're going to have the open discussion. So after that, whoever's in the room will get a chance to all discuss together, sort of thing. But I thank you so much, Phoenix.
No problem.
Always wonderful talking to you,
All
and
right.
I'll look forward to seeing you in maybe 20 minutes or so, or 40 minutes,
No,
however
no
fast we
problem.
get through this. Thanks
No
so much.
problem.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you. Bye.
Jen, you're next. Hang on a sec here. I'm going to bring you down. Jen, how are you doing, Jen? Nice to see you.
Hey Jeff, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. What's new in blue?
Um, Not much. New day, same
Yeah.
beast. So
Same. How are you hanging in there? Whereabouts are you again? Or are you
Indiana.
Indiana, right?
hmm
And how are things going there? Are you guys Masculvania sort of thing?
It really kind of depends. Like, I'm kind of in a small town and nobody here really cares, hardly anybody wears them, but where I work is like just one county over and it's like closer to Chicago and they're Masculvania there. So it's kind of
Yeah.
two extremes. But yeah, unfortunately, at least the town that I live in isn't very, crazy about it. So it's a little bit of relief.
Do you guys have to wear one going into the stores and stuff?
Yeah, like it's, mandatory or whatever statewide.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't, but
Yeah. That's good.
yeah, I still don't. I've never worn one still. So
And you haven't been any freaking people freaking out at you or anything like that? Or did you tell us? I can't remember if you said that maybe you have a legitimate excuse or something.
Yeah, that was about my job,
Right.
about having asthma, but
Right.
they didn't accept my doctor's note. So they had wanted me to file a disability claim, and I'm like, I'm not disabled.
Yeah.
It's just asthma. I'm not gonna do all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was for work. But
Yeah.
I still don't wear one there either.
Good
But
for you.
yeah, at the stores, I mean, we're supposed to. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't.
That's just good. That's great. I mean, I think that's. I mean, first of all, when you have asthma, I can't imagine, right? But I mean, that's just especially in the summertime. I know we're getting into the
Yeah,
fall
it like
here.
right. It like sucks in the summer, obviously because it's hot,
Yeah.
and humid.
Mm.
But then like you go into fall, like right now the season's changing. So it's like allergy season and, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff on top of it. So it's no good. But
Yeah.
I just hate them. Like besides the asthma thing, like I just can't do it. Like,
You don't want a
I
bubble
know
or
a lot of
anything on your
people.
head?
Huh?
You don't have a bubble on your head?
No, I don't. And actually, I tried to tell my boss that I would take Camille's advice and do the paper bag.
Mm.
And she's like, that would be offensive. I was like, well,
Ah.
I mean, I'm offended by masks, but hey, nobody cares about me, so
Yeah,
whatever.
put
But
that paper bag on. This is what tyranny looks like, I think that's great. I love to see that. Like I like just seeing people stand up to it. Like I've always been like that though. Like it's just I guess I'm a bit of a rebel spirit, but
me
I
too, me too.
yeah, I really hate people that are so into authority or that just comply, with whatever, it's
Yeah,
like why? What's the matter with you? Grow a backbone, stand up,
right.
Why are you doing this? Why? Because your television's telling you, kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
You
And then
know?
it's exactly. And it's just frustrating because even people that aren't, buying into it, they're just complying, because that's just the easy thing to do. They don't want to make waves. And I understand that. And I try not to, pass judgment on people because I know
Yeah.
people like are, worried about getting in trouble or, they're worried about like losing their job or something and they got
Yeah.
to feed their kids. I understand. So I, whatever. But just so many people like could just easily say, no, I'm not going to do that, but they don't. They
Yeah.
just, well, it's just a thing,
Yeah.
okay, we got to do this, but that's why I'm like so firm against it because I'm like, well, it starts with this,
Yeah.
but it
Mhm.
doesn't end here.
It doesn't end. No, it doesn't.
There's no limit, there's no line that they won't cross, and this. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
like
It's
I gotta take a stand now.
mhm.
So
I
yeah,
think that's admirable that you are. And, hopefully that'll inspire more to do the same. And, as I said, I mean, my whole sort of little ritual is to just get the thing in, just to get in the door, and then I rip it down.
hmm
And I purposely look for the arrows, so I make sure I'm going the wrong way down every
right,
aisle, and I'm like, please
same.
say something, please say something, please say something. Excuse me, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, you're walking the wrong way. Oh, and then I'll start doing a silly walk. I said, how do you want me to walk? Like Monty Python sort of thing. Oh, I'm walking wrong. Oh, okay.
Well, it's like who looks at the floor when they're walking through the store anyway, and that's where they
Yeah,
always have the
really.
arrows. Like
Really. I
who's walking
mean,
around looking at the ground? I mean, I don't, but
there was
it's
one woman,
crazy.
I said this, and she went, asshole, as I walked by.
Oh my gosh.
I laughed so hard because I caught it, right? I was like, I heard
Wow.
that. Yeah, I loved it
Yeah.
though. For
Wow,
me,
that's
like
so
I
funny.
say, for me, it's fun, right? Because like I'm not at all afraid of confrontation. I've always been getting into confrontations all my life, so I kind of relish them.
Are you a middle child?
Yeah.
I am, and I think it's a middle child thing, but I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
is. Yeah, for sure. And that's it. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to, like, I'm not wanting to be combative. There was one time though, I walked in and the guy said, sir, because I didn't do the squirt thing. So I whacked it really hard and it squirted right across the floor.
So they even make you like, or try to make you use the sanitizer and stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh, every place
God,
here you
that's
have to do it.
nuts.
Mhm.
Ew.
Yeah, it's gross, and I'm like, I'm sick of this. But again, I look at the people that are doing the job, and I feel sympathy for them because it's like that's a crappy job first and foremost, and secondly,
Mm-hmm.
it's not their fault. They didn't, they're just, and then they're not necessarily like brown shirts, right? The brown shirts are the people that come after you, right? They're the ones
Right.
that have to make issue. Excuse me, you have to leave the store immediately. Those people are the brown shirts.
That's when you just start saying like, "What? I can't hear you," and then you gotta get closer, like creep in their 6 feet of space. And I'm
Actually,
sorry, what? Can you take off your mask because I can't hear you?
yeah, that's a great idea. You know what? You get yourself like a fake little earpiece. Like a fake. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm deaf. What? What did you say? What? Virus? What?
Well, I do go
I
in
don't watch
stores
television. I can't hear it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like when I go in stores a lot of times, like I'll listen to like one of your streams anyway. So I already have headphones on, and people like tend not to bother you, when it looks like you're listening to something because they feel like they can't get your attention. So,
Yeah,
but
that's
most people here are all right. Like you said, it's just the store employees, and they don't really know, and it's not their fault. So I'm never like rude to them.
Yeah.
I'm polite but firm. I'm like, no, thank you. Like, I can't, can't do that. Sorry. And they're just like, okay.
I
They're
did
like,
one
"Okay."
time when I was going into a store and there was people there and they were like, yo, you can't come in without a mask, right? I was like, what? This
Mhm.
is when they first started it. I said, it's all bull crap. and then I was having a huge discussion that about 3 or 4 other people stopped to listen, right? And I was telling
Oh,
them,
really?
research event 201, right? Look up
Mhm.
Cladex, look up this, look up Bill Gates predicting 33 million dead, look up all this, look at all the I was explaining it. And the guy that was at doors like, I don't care. That's what he was saying.
Oh, wow. What a jerk.
So I wasn't even talking to him. I was looking at the ladies that were, standing there listening to me, sort of thing. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
buddy,
You're like,
but
ladies, listen.
yeah, that's it. It's like, because like they will. I mean, people will listen.
Uh-huh.
We can't think everybody's completely brain dead, right? Some people still will question, and you never know. You can plant a seed here and there, and
Mhm.
nothing's gonna grow if you don't plant them. You can't. It's like you can't hit a home run without swinging the bat, sort of thing, right? You're gonna have to take
Right.
chances now and again to, or I mean, like I'm not saying that people need to go out and speak against what's happening. I think though, if you can do it diplomatically, or like at least do it in a way that you understand that the people that are there enforcing it they just don't know, right? And they're not your enemy, right? Don't treat them like
Right.
they're the enemy, sort of thing. But
Yeah, because
anyway.
they'll never come around that way. So
Yeah, exactly. So you got anything else you want to chat before we get? Because I want to get a few more in here, and then we'll
no,
get to the.
that's okay. Yeah, I know you got a couple more people. So
Okay, well, stick around,
good.
Jen, because we'll do the big chat here in probably about 15 minutes or so.
All right, sounds good.
That'd be great. All right, thanks so much, Jen.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Moon Mother. Hi there, Moon Mother. How you doing? Can you hear me? Moon Mother? I don't know if your mic is working, Moon Mother. If you want to check your mic settings to see if it seems like your mic was canceled now. So check and see. Hello? Can you hear me? Moon Mother's not coming in yet. So Moon Mother, what you might want to do is just check your settings on your computer to see first and foremost if your mic is connected properly. Sometimes you can unplug your mic and replug it in, sort of thing. And then check your settings on your computer. And then when you come in here, just check here. I'm not sure what you guys get on your screen, but I have a settings area here that you can click on. And you can check to see your status of your microphone. So I hope maybe you can get that figured out. If you can't get it right now, don't worry. We'll go to Elena and we'll come back to you. So don't fret. I'll get back to you. Okay, Moon Mother? She has it on mute, says Susan. Bummer, on my phone. Okay, hang on, Moon Mother. Okay, well, we'll just go to Elena, okay? And I'll get you after. We'll go back to you. All right? So hang in there. Elena says device is not connected. So we're going to see Elena here. Your guest cannot connect their mic cam before you can add them. Okay, so Elena, I don't think you're, you don't need your, like, okay. I should explain this, is that nobody has to use their, like, I enable my camera, but I got a sticker on my camera, right? So, like, you're not going to see my face. And I encourage you all to do the same with your computers, right? So when you come into StreamYard, they ask you, do you allow access to your microphone and your camera? You have to say yes, otherwise you can't come into the stream. But you can disable it right as soon as you go through that. Like you can click and disable the cam, or you can put you can do both. You can put a little sticker over your camera, and I don't want anybody to come on if they don't, like, I wouldn't expect anyone to come on like and show their face, sort of thing, if they didn't want to, sort of thing. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't bring you in, Elena, right at the moment. And I had Susan before, so if I'm gonna try Moon Mother here, I'm gonna try you again. See if you, Elena's gonna try to fix it. Okay, good. So yeah, just try and fix it. Come back in, sort of thing. And yeah, with you, Moon Mother, as well, if you can maybe just check to see. I know you're trying to get your microphone to work. Just make sure the settings, check on, if you're using a laptop, check on your settings for your computer, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, or maybe you're using a mobile. Make sure that your microphone is being captured, and then check the settings here on StreamYard to make sure. And hopefully we can hear you soon here. And that sucks. I hate when the technical snafus. Had them myself tonight. A brain fart setting up the show and forgot. I don't know why I put private. I guess I was thinking, because and just so people know, and I have explained this before, the reason why the show doesn't go live is because I can't be sure who's going to come on. And so if I'm doing a live stream and say, and it's happened before, like say an agent were to come on, and one of the tactics that they used to use is they would come on and they would put something like child porn or something really disturbing in the videos. And this has happened to several shows. So that's why, like, if I don't know who's coming on the show, even though I know most of you, right, I don't know exactly who's going to show up. Because it could be a lot of different people. So it could be people that recently just joined the Patreon, sort of thing. So that's why it's just a little safety measure, just in case, you know, somebody comes on and tries some funny business, then it's, you know, it's easy to take that out. But the show will be fully available for everyone to listen to after. I kind of like it like this, though, because there's no distraction from the chat. You know, it's just it's cool in the way that it's just the patrons, and you get to, you know, you get the chat for yourselves too as well, now that it's working. Is anybody in the chat right now? Let's just see. Subdue Light and First Domino are in there having a good discussion, it looks like. And yeah, we have 8 people watching in there, so that's good. So other people are there as well. I'm just glad that the chat is up and working. So yeah, I guess with Susan. I guess Susan. The stream is working. Okay. Moon Mother and Elena, if you guys want to jump back in, and if it takes a little bit longer, then I'm going to go to the group thing. So for the group thing, Paul, if you're still around, please jump back in, and Pat and Blade Runner, of course, and who else was there as well that we don't have in the room right now? We had Hell on Wheels. Hell on Wheels, if you want to jump back. And Uncool Paranoia is still there. And Phoenix Cat's still there. Jen is still there. Susan's still there. So anybody that wants to come back, there's Moon Mother. Okay, so we're going to see if Moon Mother is going to come in now. Moon Mother. I think we got something. Hi there.
Oh, hello. I'm so sorry. I was actually on my phone and something happened and I tried changing the settings and nothing was working. So I'm so sorry about that, but it's good to be here now.
No worries. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's been a bit tough, to be honest. I'm from Victoria, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's been pretty tough with the stage 4 lockdown, if I'm honest. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle.
Wow. Okay. Okay. It doesn't seem like I'm coming in now. I was getting a bit of echo there for a second, but it's good now. You're in Victoria, and so you're right now in one of the worst spots, if not the worst, dealing with this lockdown. So,
Yeah.
do you want to let us know maybe what it's like, or like?
Yeah.
I mean, you're obviously stressed out by what's happening, right?
Yeah, look, it's just been really difficult. I mean, we were in stage 3 lockdown for, I think it was like 3 weeks before we went into stage 4. And we've been in stage 4 now. I think it's been 4 weeks already. So stage 3 and 4 over 7 weeks. But at the moment, stage 4 is you can only leave your house to go shopping within 5 kilometres of your home. So you can't go further than the 5 kilometre radius. You can only go out of the house for maximum 1 hour a day. And that's for exercise, and it's got to be in the 5K zone, of course, or like supermarket shopping. So really, you're only allowed out of the house for 1 hour a day within a 5 kilometre radius. You must wear a mask when you leave your house.
You know that's not so bad for prison, eh? I mean, that is what prison is, right? Like they let the people out for an hour a day.
It is crazy, honestly. Like I think I personally went through a stage in the beginning where I just felt, and I'm pretty calm, I'm a really calm person, but I had all this anger, and every time I left the house, I just felt really angry having to queue up at the grocery store and queue up everywhere where they have like arrows on the ground, and, you know, they've got the dots stuck on the ground. So, you know, they're 6 feet apart or whatever it is, and I just found I was getting really angry, so I stopped leaving the house for a while. Yeah, which is so bad. But yeah, it just feels like it's been never ending, like it's been going on, and I think our lovely or crazy premier is announcing this Sunday, so in a few days, what the next phase will be. But I don't watch TV or anything like that. I just sort of keep updated with watching the news broadcasts on YouTube. But he's been basically, like, his narrative is all about, you know, we've got a plan for the next few weeks and the next few months. And so, yeah, it looks like it's going to be some sort of a long-term plan, and possibly even wearing masks, you know, continuously over the next few months. But it's just been hell, if I'm honest. Yeah, I've struggled with it personally. And Jeff, I just want to, before I keep going, I just want to say the biggest thank you to you for covering what's been going on in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. I really am so grateful, because a lot of people that I've spoken to who are from the States, and I don't know exactly where they're from, but they've all sort of said, oh, we've heard nothing about what's going on in Melbourne. And I think, oh my God, like, so I really, really appreciate you covering this in such depth, and also for just all your relentless work over the years, and in particular now with all this craziness. I just
Thanks.
give that big thank you, Jeff.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm horrified. I mean, I see that, and I can't believe it. Like, I honestly, like, watching some of the newscasts from Melbourne and from Victoria, I just blown away. I'm just like, oh my God, this is actually happening. It's not like a Black Mirror episode. It's not some horrible science fiction dystopic film. It's really happening.
Exactly.
And it's the rhetoric coming out of the government and the press and the police. It's so belligerent. Like when they're talking, like for instance, when I showed one of the police captains or whatever saying we had to, we had to break out, we had to bust in people's cars and pull them out. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You're busting into people's cars, smashing their glass because they're not properly identifying themselves, and they're dragging them out of the cars. And it's like, whoa, what? This is Australia?
It's
like,
crazy.
wow.
It really is. And you can really feel it. Like when I drive around, within the 5K zone, there's a lot of police presence everywhere. There's police cars everywhere. We've had choppers over our suburb for the last sort of few days.
Yikes.
And and there's one that particularly comes at night, and it's usually between sort of 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. And it's got this bright green light and a bright red light. And I think it's the new choppers that identify car registration plates from the sky. And so if you're outside of your 5 kilometre zone, they can spot you from a helicopter. So I think that's what it is. But it's just such an invasion of privacy, and just the continuous noise of the chopper flying around.
Yeah. That's psychological. It's because it's helicopters period don't sound nice at all.
Yeah.
And when and it's like at nighttime, and with the lights and with the whole situation, and like, do you notice in your suburban sort of area, like, are there police? Are they making themselves present, or is it more kind of hiding behind the scenes and popping out here and there, or is it like you feel like, oh, anything I do wrong is going to be noticed or something?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of them on the roads, that's for sure. You see a lot of police cars on the roads. I've sort of been only going out just for necessities and then coming straight back home because I feel too stressed. But you do see a lot of police out and about. Just as an example, which is so crazy, I think it was late last week, we had some severe weather in Melbourne, and so I didn't have power for like 28 hours in my home, and all the lights at all the intersection, the traffic lights were out in my neighbourhood, and some of the roads are major roads, like 6 lanes each way, and yet there were no police manning these intersections for like 24 hours. And I'm thinking, the police that are, sitting around at shopping centres and, picking on people for not wearing their mask, they should be manning these, these big intersections. So I was really surprised. So they should be, attending to these sorts of things rather than looking for people that aren't, in their words, doing the right thing. So they are out and about. You do see them. So it's pretty uncomfortable, if I'm honest. And like I see them all around my neighborhood, just driving around, and it just makes you feel super uncomfortable.
And there's been relatively few deaths compared, right? Like here in Montreal, they say over 10,000 or 11,000 or something dead, right? And I believe Melbourne's like 300 or something. And it's like, we're not nearly as bad in the situation. Like, yeah, we have to wear the mask and social distance, and they have the stupid stuff and with the one-way aisles and all that crap. But it's there's just a lot of people out and about. People are at the parks. I was up at the park last night in my neighborhood, and I was really encouraged because I saw like girls soccer. Right, there was like a whole team of girls soccer players, and they'd finished their game, and they were all sitting very close together, like maybe about 25 of them. And I didn't say anything, but I wanted to say, "Hey, good stuff, girls," like, because they weren't wearing masks or anything. They're all just sitting around, and maybe they're talking about the craziness that's going on. But I'm just happy to see that there's some normalcy and people are going about their lives. And then I think, wow, Victoria, like you guys, I mean, like, how is like I saw what stage 5 is, by the way. I don't know if you saw that when I covered it.
Yeah,
And
I did. It's nuts.
Yeah, they won't even let you exercise at that point.
That's right.
And it's insane. I believe that because Dan Andrews, they installed that guy for this mission, and that's what I believe, right? And that they're using as a testing ground. Like they do this with all different things, right? Certain things get tested in certain regions, and they choose, okay, this is going to go here, this is going to go there. We'll try this in Ontario, we'll try this in Victoria, we'll try this in Florida, right? Sort of thing, right? But you guys have gotten the worst, I think, out of any of the West, right? I know it's not technically the West, but you know what I mean, right? That you guys are the testing ground to see how far they can really ramp up this Orwellian sort of control scheme. And I can't even begin to imagine the psychological impact that this is having. I mean, Melbourne's a city of like 5 million people.
Yeah.
And to see it like a ghost town, right? And it's like, how many businesses are closed? How many people have lost their jobs? How many people are resorting to alcohol, right? Or drugs or whatever, just to get through the stress of what the government is doing to everybody. And then, just the fact that the numbers, like the scariest part is like I mean, if it's like 300 or 4, even if it was like 3,000 people that died, that's a drop in the bucket. I mean, that's typical for a week in a big city like Melbourne, right? When it comes to elderly people and stuff, right? So there's no justification for the tyranny that has been unleashed, and yet they still did it. And it's like, it's still going on. And from what I've seen, they're saying that they're going to keep this going for another year. Which is, I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, I know they're saying similar things here, but we're not, they're not doing the same type of, you're only allowed to leave your house, you can't go more than 5 kilometers and all that, right? Like they have toyed with that, and they've talked about it, and they did implement it at certain stages, but it didn't really stick. And now the government's starting to say here, oh, we're going to get down hard because people aren't listening, people aren't complying. So now the premier, first he had more of a laissez-faire type, approach. Now he's saying, well, we gave people the soft stick, now we're going to give them the hard stick, sort of thing. So we might see a similar type of approach come out here, but I know that there would be huge resistance here, just because the French Canadians themselves are very, they don't like this type of tyranny, that's for sure. But I mean, like they're effectively at the same time with Melbourne, they're also stopping any sort of real opposition from manifesting, because you can't protest, right? You can't gather, you can't, and I imagine it's even worse when it comes to like sick people and sick relatives and stuff, right? Because like, are you allowed to see somebody that's sick? Or what if you have to, because like, like 5 kilometers, come on, seriously, like most of us live much further than that from our families or extended families and stuff like that. And
well, I believe that if you've got a sick relative, you need to apply for some sort of exemption. And I did read an article on this young guy who wanted to go and visit his grandparent and was denied the ability to travel, and then the grandparent passed, and he was just devastated. So, I believe you have to apply for some sort of exemption if you want to travel outside of the 5K zone for some sort of reason about, parent being unwell or grandparent or family member being unwell. But the crazy thing is you can visit your significant other if they're outside of the 5K zone, but you can't visit your parent, for example. So I'm a sole parent, and my
see your parents. That's insane.
It's crazy.
insane.
My daughter can't travel to visit her dad, who lives outside of the 5K zone, but she can visit her boyfriend who lives, 15 Ks away, 20 Ks away, and that's absolutely fine. So nothing makes sense. It's just total nonsensical. And we all know that the figures that they're providing us with are not real figures. I mean, everyone that's so-called passing from COVID is, an older person, they've got other ailments. So I do feel though, Jeff, I do have a bit of hope at the moment. I feel that people are slowly waking up here. I mean, with the protests that are happening this weekend around Australia, one in Melbourne, of course, on Sunday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I think I sent you a vid, but one of the guys who, I think the man who organised the protest was arrested a few days ago. And he's a 77-year-old guy, very smart guy. He's a scientist and very well spoken. He got arrested, but I believe that the protests are still going ahead. And judging from Facebook, and I'm not on Facebook, but I have people that have been telling me, a lot of people seem to be saying that they're going to the Melbourne one anyway on Sunday. So yeah, look forward to that. But
that's great. That's great. I think this could be the game changer, because one of the things is that the more that the government clamps down, the more that people are going to feel this, the more people are going to be affected by it. They're going to be traumatized, and they're not going to forget, hopefully, what it feels like. And hopefully they're going to remember what it was like before and never forget that, because they don't want you to, they want us all to say, it's never going to be the same. And it's like, no, you don't get to do that to us. You're supposed to serve us. Governments are supposed to be here to serve people. We elect you. We pay you. We work, we pay our taxes so that you can have a salary. Yeah, it's just so crazy. And I'm very, very disturbed, but that is a good sign that they're starting to protest. I think all of Australia should, like all the major cities, people should be uniting with Melbourne and protesting, because like they got to be horrified in, Sydney and Brisbane and other places where they're saying, what if this happens here, right? Like, like look what's. That's what I hope people are saying, because that's what I'm saying to people here. I'm saying, I talk to people every day. I said, just look at Victoria in Australia. I said, if you're not concerned about the power grab that is happening and the tyranny that's being unleashed, you're not paying attention. You're not seeing how far they're pushing it and how evil it is. Just the thought of not being allowed to leave your home, or only having an hour a day, or only being able to go 5 kilometers. Do they have, are there road checkpoints and stuff like that they've set up to? Yeah,
they have. I mean, none in my suburb, but certainly in certain zones. And I think they're listed on the government website where the roadblocks are. So yeah, they've got roadblocks, police roadblocks, where they ask you basically for your papers, where are you going, show us your ID, and also I think if you're working and your job requires you to travel on the road, you need some form of a letter from your employer stating that you need to travel, and so you've got to present that letter. And it's just, it's absolute lunacy. And you're right, it's a huge power grab, and it's just soul crushing and soul destroying. But I'm trying to hang in there, and from what I see, more and more people are slowly waking up, and people are sort of gathering this weekend, that's for sure. But just it's.
Well, I'll cover it. I'll try to help out, and I'll try to like get more people to pay attention, because I am keeping a very close eye on everything that's happening there, because it's just blowing me away. But
and I just want to say thank you for everything. That you created a safe place for us to come and stay in.
Awesome.
I just love the laughs, and I love your desk banging and your what is it? LGBTQWX.
LGBTQWXYZ. I can only say it when I say it fast. If I try to slow it down, all right, Moon. You stick around, okay? Because we're gonna get to the group here. I got 2 more. Actually, I got 3 more. here. So we're going to do
Thanks.
3 more, and then we'll open it up for the group show. So
Sorry
thanks
if
so
I've
much.
taken up too much time.
No,
Much
no, no,
love.
no, 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 absolutely not. No, not
Thanks,
at all. Yeah, all right, awesome. All right, so looks like Elena's up and running there. Hi, Elena. Nice to see you. How you doing?
Not bad.
Yeah, you hanging in there?
So nice to speak with you, Jeff. How are you?
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. I mean, I really appreciate your help, right? With
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
yeah, you're coming in loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm so sorry for Moon Mother
Yeah.
because I spent a couple of months in Italy. I'm Italian, but I live in England.
Mhm.
And I spent a couple of months in Italy. It was spring during lockdown, and it was terrible, terrible. I remember suffering from depression, anxiety, and crying almost every day. And now that I'm back here, I'm
Yeah,
feeling
you
so
were
much better.
contacting me. Elena was contacting me and giving me a lot of information when she was in Italy, and it was pretty awful, right? Like I remember you telling me like how scary the situation was. And
Yeah. Well, this summer they've had the army making sure that people social distance on the beach.
yeah.
It's totally crazy. And that, I don't know if you remember that guy in Italy that was fined about $500 for hugging his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That was totally crazy.
I mean, it's you just what 2020? What? This is actually happening? Oh my
No, but
gosh. So
in
you
my
saw it
opinion,
really bad and you
because I can
basically
tell
saw
you,
yeah, go ahead.
I can tell you this because I saw the difference between here and Italy. And let me tell you this, British people are more awake. Not all of them, but they question things. And my fellow Italians are so brainwashed. You have no idea. They're so stupid. Yeah, you always complain about Canada, but because you say that
Wanna
Canada,
trade?
Canadian is pretty stupid, but the
Yeah.
average Italian is pretty stupid as well. And we have drag story hour in Italy as well.
No, there
Yeah,
you
and
go.
we have a bill which is passing, which is kind of like the bill C-16 that you have in Canada.
Yeah. That's
So it's pretty awful.
it just doesn't stop, does it? This
No,
this NWO doesn't stop for donuts, right? They're
Oh,
just
there is no escaping the
they're
end
going full on.
regardless of where you live. But I can tell you this, life seems kind of normal here. I live close
Thank
to
God.
London.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, I was worried about you when you were in Italy there. It's like it's stressful for me just to hear what you were going through and what you were saying, right? And
It
and
was
then
so awful because I was not working and I was staying at my parents, and they both suffer from the television worship syndrome. And it was always a fight, like every day. It was driving me insane. And I haven't spoken with my family in a very long time now. I really try to wake them up, but they are part of the problem and they are my enemies. So I actually fear my parents.
oh no.
So no, honestly, I don't think I'll ever go back to Italy
My word.
because, well, I don't mind. I mean, this is the second time that I live abroad. I used to live in the Middle East, and I don't belong here. I don't belong there. So it's
Yeah.
I don't care. I could move from here to anywhere. But Italy, nah. Soon they're going to have the second lockdown, probably by the end of the month.
Yeah, it seems like it's heading that way. It's like you might see a similar. Obviously, it was already kind of like a precursor to what's going on in Melbourne right now, right? It's like that they basically played that out in Italy and then in Spain in the early stages of this back in, I guess, February or so, right? January, February, when it first started really coming out. And yeah, I mean, it's scary because sorry, go ahead.
No, I just watched a video on YouTube just before the show, and it was a a press conference in Italy, and this doctor said to all the televisions that they will have to carry out the vaccine trial in the South America. He said, because we don't have sick patients, sick COVID patients here in Italy. What?
Right. And Italy was the first place too, where they came out and they said 97, I think it was 97% of people that they attributed to dying actually had underlying
Well, they
issues.
inflated the numbers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And Bergamo was a city pretty close to Milan that was brutally hit by COVID because people there had gotten the flu shot prior to the COVID pandemic. So maybe their immune system was way too weak to fight COVID. And I think I had COVID too, because I got sick back in March. And it was pretty bad because both my lungs were in pain. And I freaked out because I'm a smoker, and I thought, oh my God, I've got cancer.
Oh, that's scary, eh? Are you still smoking?
And it took me like a month and a half to fully recover for the pain to go completely
That's
away.
what happens though when you smoke though, eh? Because like almost everybody I know that's a smoker, when they get sick, it's there for a long time, right? Like
No, actually, I hadn't caught the flu in 6 years.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty healthy, and I don't know, but this year it happened, and it was bad.
Oh, well, at least you got through it. But it's a scary thought, though. Eh? It's like sometimes you think the worst, right? When you get sick, and you're like, "Oh no."
No,
what could
it's
it
terrible because I'm a flight attendant, and if we call sick, we don't get paid. So we have to go to work anyway. And I went to work with the fever, and it was so bad.
And it's when you're, it's much worse because you guys are at high altitude, right? So you have the recycled air and all that, and it's
There is less oxygen in the plane because the cabin is pressurized at 6,000, 8,000 feet. So it's like being on the mountains.
Yeah.
And now we have to wear the mask.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh boy! Wow, it's so good to see you that you're doing well now.
Oh, it's so nice to talk to you, Jeff. You're amazing.
Really, yeah, it really is.
You're my mentor. I've learned so much from you. I mean, I'm a YouTuber as well. You know, my good channel was terminated, but now
it was.
What?
Over COVID, or was it?
No, my previous channel was more Christian themed, but yeah, I used to expose the NWO and all, and that's why it was taken down. And the one that I have now is all about COVID because there is nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. I know I'm sub to you, and
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for sure, of course. But I'm like, I have gazillions of subs, so it's like when I get my feed, it's just sort of thing. So if you do have videos you want me to watch, please do send them to me, and I always do check them out.
No, that would be so embarrassing.
No. Yeah, you put it up on YouTube. Come on.
Oh my God. Yeah, I found your channel probably it was June last year because you did a show with Call for an Uprising. And well, you're pretty awesome. I mean, despite being Canadian, you're pretty smart.
Oh, thanks.
It was a joke.
So, do you have anything else you want to say before we?
No, you can kick me out. I'm going to bed.
No. Stick around if you can, because we're going to do the group show in a sec. So,
oh no, I had to take a nap before the show because it's 4 in the morning. I'm going to.
You better get your sleep. Okay.
It was amazing. I so wanted to be with you guys. You guys are awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elena. It was so nice
Take
to
care.
see you and hear you. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Okay. All the best. Bye. All right. So, Sean, nice to see you, Sean. What's up, Sean? How you doing, brother?
Hey, Jeff. What's up, man?
What's up?
Can you hear me?
How you doing? Yeah, I can hear you. Coming in loud and clear.
Okay.
How you doing, man? You got your mask? Are you getting your designer mask all ready and get your bald head?
Right here, man.
There you go. You're a bandit,
my bandana.
Yeah, there you go. He's just like me.
Yep.
So what's
Oh,
shaking?
man.
What have you been seeing?
I went out shopping today, a few places, and we're doomed.
Yeah, that's it. The long,
It's
tall, and short of it. Yeah.
90% of the people are walking all the way from their car to the store and back, and I'm like, I'm at the point where I'm just aggravated, and I'm starting to say things, and I'm gonna get in trouble, so I got to stop. But I'm
Yeah.
like, I say to him, I'm like, hey, you're outside, breathe oxygen. It's
Yeah.
good for you. Sunshine, vitamin
Yeah.
D. Like, I just look at him and I feel stupid
Yeah.
that I
Well,
have to go in the store with the thing.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
I think it's okay to say things like that. I would pick my spots though, maybe elderly people and stuff like that. That would be kind of good people to give that message to. But you can tell, like, like I don't know. I feel you're like everywhere I go, I have like I resist the urge because I'm driving around or wherever I'm going, walking around, whether it's people leaving the sidewalk, which drives me bonkers, right? It's like, stop leaving the sidewalk, or it's
Yeah.
just driving in my car and seeing people driving alone in their car with their mask on, or seeing people on their bikes or jogging in the park with their mask on. I just want to, hey, how you doing? Can I just talk to you for a second? What are you doing? You never, maybe you should stop watching television. You'd probably be just a lot happier, sort of thing. But unfortunately,
I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I don't know if it's at the point where they're just conditioned already,
mm,
where they just forget to take it off or keep it on. I don't know, but it's like 9 out of 10 people wear it
yeah.
outside, walking around, and it's like,
Whereabouts are you
some days it's
again?
90 degrees.
What state are you in?
New
New
Jersey.
Jersey. Okay. Yeah. We just had another person
Yeah.
from New Jersey in before Hell on Wheels there, telling that it's one of the
Yeah.
worst spots right now
That's what he's
because of,
saying in the chat.
yeah.
Yeah, they're opening the gyms again, but they want you to work out with a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be pumping iron in my room, man.
Yeah, exactly.
The way it is.
No. I'm not a gym person. I like to keep in shape, but I've never
Yeah, me
liked
too.
gyms. So
Light weights. I used to be a big lifter. I used to be a lot bigger, but I got skinny. So I stopped lifting, but
well, that's fine though. It's good if you're skinny. That's good. You're in good shape then, right? You're keeping
yeah, no,
yourself
I'm
slim.
pretty skinny. Well, I got
But
a little gut from all the booze, but
yeah, that's got to kill that beer belly. That, but yeah, that's. I mean, it's crazy to see, and I think it's disheartening because we see just so many of the people that are under that mind control, and you just want to shake them, or you want to help them. Really, you want to just, you don't. I don't want to fight with these people. I don't want to embarrass them so much, but I do want to try to talk to them and just try to talk some sense and say, come on, please, just stop watching television. Just, come on, right? Like, where's all the sick people? Seriously, do you know anybody that's sick? Do you know anybody that's died of this stuff? Right?
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I know of people that know people, but
yeah. But then
that's about it.
even if people that you know of that through other people, chances are they had underlying issues. Chances are,
Of course.
So it's like it's not like that. That's the thing that catches people, because I have people that I know that say, "No, I know somebody that died." And it's like, well, yeah, what else did they have? Right? How old were they? I mean, like 97 years old. All these sicknesses, and all of a sudden they die, and it's like,
yeah. I was stupid enough to watch one of our governor's news conferences just for giggles, and he's speaking about the 97-year-olds and 93-year-olds. I'm like, they were old. They were about to die.
You make it that long.
I
mean, seriously, you make it that long.
That's a good life.
Yeah, that's a good.
I'm not living that long.
Yeah,
I'm not going to live that long. That's a great life.
Oh, come on,
93
Sean,
years
you can
old,
do it.
87.
Yeah, just get the chip, man. Get the chip, man. Go for it.
Yeah. I beat myself up over the years enough, man.
Yeah.
No, I just went to physical therapy yesterday. I got to go Thursday again.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm still hurting a little bit.
What is it
Getting
that you
there.
got?
I broke the hip and the femur.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
that
been
breaking your hip. That's a big one, right?
hobbling around, but I can walk. I'm just not, as well as I'd like.
Right.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? Trying to think. I had some good ones, but now I'm like, we were talking
Well,
about other things.
do you want to get the group thing going then?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, yeah, there was like two ladies that rode around on bikes for months and months with their masks on in my complex, and like you said about the people driving with their cars, it's like, come on. And I can't. I just can't. I don't know how to help. There's no way to help these people. They're beyond help. They're gonna get us all killed.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just the
it.
way it is, man.
I think you just
Yeah,
gotta you try if you can. You can usually tell. If somebody you can talk to them a little bit, and then maybe just see, hey, how you doing? Don't you think it's weird? That this is all going on. Don't you think this kind of infringes upon our freedoms, and just see, and just try to crack open a door a little bit, maybe, see if there's something there. That's kind of the way I look at it, right? Like I'll get in a conversation with somebody at the grocery store, at the, the market or whatever, and hardware store, and try to just pick them for a little bit. But it's so hard now because everybody's masked up, right? So you can't even really communicate properly with people. And then you just see people like doing the stupidest things where they're just like, going down the aisle and they're practically knocking over things to get out of your way because they're so scared that you're, getting closer than the 6 feet sort of thing. So it's just nuts, man. We all got to hang in there, though. We all got to do our best. I know this is really, I think all of us, I know I feel it every day. I feel the stress of what they're doing to us. So I can only imagine people that are dealing with it, say 8 or 10 hours a day, right? Working a job, having to comply and having to do all the constant sanitizing. Look at the kids right now going back to school, and every door they go through, they got to squirt and put the thing on and social distance, and they got to stay 6 feet apart, and it's just evil. It's just freaking evil.
In their plastic bubbles. No, I was going to say about the schools too. As far as I know, it hasn't changed. They're doing 1 day a week, half days for the kids. My little brother's in high school now. It's like, come on.
1 day a week.
I feel bad for the younger kids because they're going to get conditioned to be scared of people when they're older.
Oh yeah. That's that's part of what they're doing is we're going to make a whole generation. Sorry, go ahead.
Did you hear about this movie that they made years back? I thought it was a nice little movie. I think you might have touched on it. But like the two people had like autoimmune diseases,
that's
and they're like, that 5 feet apart. But then the lady in the movie actually says 6 feet apart if you catch it.
We showed that. Go ahead.
I remembered a couple points I wanted to bring up. So my whole thing is I'm getting annoyed with too is like this whole left-right game. I look at my Facebook feed and it's just like, it's Trump, it's the pedos, it's like they don't realize this COVID thing is global. It's not about the president of the United States.
Exactly.
It's not about the election. That's what pisses me off so bad is because these people are, and
they think somehow
Q is behind a lot of that psyop, but it's global. How do you not see that it's global? Like we know here, but people on Facebook are like, red, white. I mean, red, blue. Come on.
That's really frustrating. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to see your thoughts on this. What do you think about like families, like whole families being cursed? Like, do you think like the Kennedy family was cursed, or do you think that they got involved with the wrong things? Because it seems like a lot of them got picked off. And then
Yeah,
there's another family. I'm a big wrestling fan, so it's the Von Erich family. They all died young, like their whole their family got like wiped out. Do you believe in things like that, or?
I don't know. Like I hate the demonic stuff. I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole or a 100-foot pole.
Yeah.
And I you know, like I don't know, and I'm like I don't want to know. I stay away from it. But as far as the Kennedys, when I was a kid, I used to listen to Dead Kennedys, right? So
the band, yep.
Yeah,
I remember the band,
the Kennedys. It's a bizarre thing because they are one of the bloodlines, right? So it's like, are they
that's what I'm
cursed
thinking.
or
Like maybe they're just getting they sign deals and they're picking them off. Like they sign the blood contracts. Who knows? But it is fishy. It is fishy.
It is. It could be. I would imagine that. You know, it's hard to say, really. I think that's, you know, maybe with celebrity families and stuff, it could be something different, right? But
like Bill Cosby's kid getting killed on the side of the road, like
but I don't know how much of that is real or manufactured or, you know, like
I believe
so
it. I believe
it. You know,
they killed
like
Michael Jordan's dad. Look how big he got. Like it's Jennifer Hudson's little 3-year-old, was nephew was killed. Like I don't know. It's sick. I mean, well, who knows? Who knows?
But I would say that world is demonic, period, right? So it's like, don't ever go there. Cause there's no, like, when I know what it's like when you're young and you want to be successful, you want to be famous or something like that, right? But when you get a little bit older, you realize, oh no, it's all just evil. You have to sign a contract in blood, and you know, there's nothing there for people. Basically, it doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't make you a happier person. It makes you another slave. I think, and I think a lot of these celebrities are not happy people. I think they're
not.
They're on drugs and they're on all these things, right? And I mean, like, I don't know how much, like, say, like Johnny Depp, for instance, right? Like, in all the dirt
he's
that's
a
coming
weird
out
one
about him. Yeah,
he's full blown Satanist. I think.
Oh yeah, he is.
Like
He is. There's no
Marilyn
question.
Manson. Like, come on.
But you look at these people, and it's like I don't even think a lot of them can fall asleep. like they're so wired, and they're on so many pills, and they're so like, I don't envy them because and I don't think they're going to live long, period, anyways. And I think they're just useful tools for the elites, anyways. So it's like, you know, that's what. And I don't get ever into any of the deaths because, like, the big ones, at least, because I feel like a lot of that is just, you know, I think a lot of it's fabricated, or a lot of it's, even if it's not, it's part of their machination, sort of thing. And that's why I think the cult of celebrity is a black hole. There's no point, you know, like, just get away from the celebrities. Like, you know, like, I love music, right? I love a lot of musicians, but I don't love the celebrity fame life. Like, I'll love somebody for their ability to play an instrument or something, right? But that's it, right? Like, just kind of put these people where, you know, you don't idolize them in any way, shape, or form, but maybe you respect them for what they're good at, sort of thing, and then you just leave it at that, sort of thing. Because the emotional sort of triggering that they do with these celebrities, and you just see it, you know, with Kobe Bryant, for instance, you know, all the people crying their eyes out, and it's just insane. It's like, come on, seriously, you don't even know the guy. You know, it's like you're bawling your eyes out for somebody you've never even met. You know,
I think it was Tracy McGrady maybe that came out and said that Kobe wanted to leave a legacy and die young, like, and then he does. I don't know. Just, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then also the helicopter stuff, you know, just there's none of it. All of it is a ritual.
I know you say you might be on a beach in Tel Aviv, but I really kind of think it happened.
Yeah, it could.
I think,
for sure.
think they wiped
there's
them all
There's no question that they could kill these people.
Out, man.
Yeah. But
he signed a deal. He was a millionaire. Nike, like, you know.
But we don't know, and we'll never know, right? It's one of those things, like, if you do, and as long as you don't get emotionally invested, I think it's cool, because you know that's where they get you, because then you know they've got you because you've bought into the trauma and you've been compromised emotionally, sort of thing. So, but yeah. Anyways, let's get to
you
the
can respect
group
their
show.
trauma.
I'm gonna
Go
get to
for
the
it, man.
group
Go
show
for
now,
it, man.
Matt. So let's see
Should
here.
I stay right here?
Let's
Okay.
see. Okay, we get Susan. And who was next after Susan? I want to make sure I get people in the right order here. So I had Susan, and then we had
Suzanne.
Hi there.
Sean, it's my boys.
Paul's not back yet.
It's not
so
Susan,
Paul,
Jeff. It's not Susan.
it's not Susan. It's Suzanne.
It's Suzanne.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. I get that. Oh, I hate
He
when I
calls
do
me
that.
Susan.
Susan,
I know.
Suzanne. That must
You can call me
frustrate you,
Bob.
right?
Are you a
so
black-eyed? Are you a black-eyed Susan?
Sorry?
Uncool's in.
What'd you say?
We're gonna get
Uncool here?
We got Hell on Wheels,
Uncool Mike.
and
she is.
Phoenix Cat,
Hey, I'm here.
Jen,
Yay,
and
Phoenix
Moon
Cat.
Mother. Hang in there. We'll get you in a little bit. I'm
Hey,
trying to-
Phoenix.
What's up,
Alright,
y'all?
people.
Hey, Sean. I didn't know you were on here, Sean. How you doing?
Hey, Uncool. What's up? Yeah, we were chatting.
You guys chat it up for a sec. I'm just gonna fill up my water glass, so I'll be right
Hey,
back.
Susan. Do you get frustrated when people call you Susan because you get mixed up with Wajiki?
I'm sorry? You were breaking up. What'd you say?
I said,
Is that
do you
hell?
get frustrated? Do you get frustrated when people call you Susan because it's the same name as Wajiki?
All right. Well, it's a pet name from Jeff. I don't mind. He can call me Bob if he wants. I don't care. Yeah, it's Suzanne, really, but yeah, it's Susan. You know, some people call me Susan. Some people call me Sue. Some people call me Susie. It's just a name, right?
It's just like my name's not really Phoenix, though.
That's true.
Suzanne, I just want to say you are the sweetest. Okay, you are so sweet, girl. I just want to tell you that.
Oh, stop! You make me blush.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah, you really
you're
do
the
seem
coolest.
like you really do seem like a really kind, like good Christian type person.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I am. I'm here for all of you guys. I'm praying for all of you guys too, and I really appreciate this.
I
This
appreciate
community
it.
Jeff's set up for us. Yeah, because no one's awake here where I live, and my nurse friends, they drive me mad because they're nurses, right? They should know this stuff, and they're stupid. Okay, and because I try to explain.
Wow. Wow. So you're telling me that there are nurses that literally just they just refuse to see it? Like, God, I would want to bang my head against a wall.
Exactly, they do, and I send them videos, and they won't even watch them. I send them all sorts of videos, from Sean, from Jeff, and
Send them Grace's videos. That's what I do. I don't send my videos. I
Grace,
send
yeah,
Grace.
and from Call from the Uprising. These are my favorite guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they won't even watch them. And I send them, doctors as well. There's a new doctor on. And I forget, her name eludes me at the moment, but I mean, she's just just calling it what it is. It's the B system here. This is biblical stuff happening, right?
Yeah,
and I can't believe.
Sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Even in the sleepy hellscape that is New Jersey, there are a lot of nurses that at least are in my area that are like, you guys, this is stupid. Like, even because I know some nurses and stuff that are in the medical field. I wouldn't reveal their names, obviously, but they've even been telling us, like, hey, dude, this is bullshit. Don't be scared of it.
Oh, I wish they were here, because I keep telling, my colleagues, and they think I'm nuts.
On both sides. And then I have some nurses say, oh, I can get COVID from cutting your hair. I'm like, oops.
You got to shave it off. Wakanda.
Jeff, you idiot.
Prepare for the new. just be ahead of time for the New World Order cancer we're all eventually going to get.
Yeah. Well, they actually are pushing that kind of meme. We showed that a few times that they did it with BLM
It just
too.
gets worse and worse and worse. So it's all-
Yeah, now they're saying supposedly where that came from is it came from some troll on 4chan, which these different ops they tend to come from places like that anyway.
But
Supposedly,
they've had that celebrity meme for a long time, like the Rose McGowan, and even you go back to Britney Spears and whatnot, like women, like celebrities shaving their heads
Reddit.
for sometimes for
For
causes
4chan,
or
right?
just like the whole androgynous sort of push, and this all fits into that androgynous sort of programming that they're using, like blurring the lines and blending the sexes together. And there's nothing wrong with a woman having
I had to
short
go to
hair,
the
right?
hospital
But
today, and
pardon
they
me?
had like when you sign up for the nurse, whatever, they had like it roped off where you couldn't even get to the nurse, even though she's behind plexiglass. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't that the truth, boy? They're not getting my hair. My hair is down to my thigh. That's no lie. I get my hair.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah,
They're like
right.
Crystal Gale.
Yeah, that was my name and Cher and Pokemon
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff,
when I was growing up.
remember Tank Girl?
Oh yeah,
Tank.
I remember her. Tank Girl.
what was Tank Girl? I'm not
Tank
familiar.
Girl,
with
yeah,
that.
so the girl from the League of Their Own.
So what?
League of Their Own.
I'm not sure if I know who you're talking about.
She was in a League of Their Own. She was the pitcher.
Oh, it's a movie.
Yes. It had
It's called The
Madonna
League
in
of
it.
Our Own.
Yeah,
Is
Tank
that
Girl
the
was a
women's
movie.
baseball movie? Is that
League of Their Own was the baseball movie.
okay?
Yeah,
I never
It had
saw
Madonna.
it.
Okay, here, something.
that was pretty cool. Tom Hanks was in it. I mean, I know he's dead now, but at the time he was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, he just wants you to know the great truth of Scientology. Okay, he's just
Oh,
trying
right.
to tell you the truth. It's obviously
I wish somebody would
aliens.
come abduct me.
All two of them, right?
I wish they'd
Yeah,
come
trying to
abduct me.
usher you in with the alien truth.
That would make sense, though. It's either aliens or lizards, or a lot of people I know, Faceless and others, theorize that it's like a super AI that's
Hello.
controlling the whole
Y'all
thing,
hear me?
right? Like that.
Yeah,
It
like
kind
the
of makes
Matrix, yeah.
sense. If you
That's
see
what I
the
believe
movie,
Q is. I
Yeah.
believe Q is a the supercomputer, because when you read a Q drop, doesn't it seem like that's something that's coming out directly fed from out of a computer?
I've
Yeah, it
never read a
does.
Q drop.
Yeah,
I gotta.
they
I
know
guess
what's
I
gonna
gotta
make
read
people
Couple of
tick.
them.
Yeah,
I
that's
seen a couple of them a while ago because there's this one channel I watch that has some good information, but she's also still very in the left-right paradigm. So she'll bring up the Q stuff a lot, and I'm like, come on, dude.
Come on. Oh my God.
yeah. That wouldn't surprise me, Uncool, because it would make a lot of sense. I think about it too, because if you've seen the movie Transcendence with Johnny Depp, and he becomes this. He's a guy he's like an Elon Musk. In fact, Elon Musk is in the movie. He does a cameo, and so Johnny Depp's kind of playing an Elon Musk character who gets attacked in a terrorist
If I couldn't
attack,
hear
and
Sean,
he's slowly dying. So he transfers his consciousness to an artificial intelligence program, and then the movie kind of plays the theme that, oh my gosh, the artificial intelligence is going to wipe us all out, and so people start to try to conspire against him, his former friends
I
and
can hear
stuff,
other
right?
people. I don't know why.
And then what happens though in the end of the movie is that
Yeah, my mic is on.
what happens is that the Johnny Depp sort of artificial intelligence is actually trying to save the world. So he's building all this tech and
person I can hear
doing
is
all this stuff. So
Uncool parent aware sometimes. and
yeah,
Hell on
sorry, who's
Wheels.
talking? Oh, Phoenix. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, it's like Johnny Depp
She doesn't
becomes
think we can hear.
self-aware. He became fully self-aware, and he became like this black goo programmable matter type deal. It was super weird.
Yeah, like I could see that where it's like that somehow at some point they activated a supercomputer, and the supercomputer, the super AI, started to take over and started to say, this is what we're going to do. Like maybe the first thing that they figure out is we got to eliminate like 95% of the population, or they're just using really advanced artificial intelligence programs to carry out the entire sort of operation. And they know they're constantly feeding it with everything that's happening, or it's getting a news feed of every sort of relevant piece of information.
Well, Jeff, you just made me think of something, because I honestly feel like that's what we're doing, because I don't know if anybody noticed the notification that Facebook sent out between yesterday and today that their terms of service is going to be updated starting from October 1st. They're going to be like restricting anything that goes against the narrative. They're going to be restricting your access to it in real time. So they kind of send you a snippet of it in your notification screen on Facebook. So I kind of, me, I got to research. I clicked through the terms of service, it's pages and pages. I'm just reading it. So it literally tells you that the AI is learning and growing. So I'm like, you just really literally reminded me of that. Like, I think that's what we're doing. I think we're feeding this AI.
Yeah.
And when they're ready to start the second lockdown, the propaganda from the second wave is going to be so crazy, because we've spent all summer feeding it. So now it knows how everybody's going to react. It knows most people figured out the COVID deal. So they're going to go another way.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is going on, man.
Yeah, I have been begging my family, because a lot of them are older, so Facebook is where they get a lot of their information, or the television, and my God, do I ever want to just bang my head against the wall, like seriously. And I've been trying to talk to my mother and brother, because they were telling me, oh, Facebook has me so miserable and I hate it and I can't stand it and I don't know why I'm on it. I'm like, yeah, why are you on it? Because all it's doing is freaking programming you, and it's going to make you more and more miserable. Like, no wonder you're miserable right now. How much time are you spending scrolling through that feed right now?
Yeah.
I give it like 5 minutes a day. That's it.
I got
can't
rid
take
of
it.
it. I got rid of it like years ago, because I originally had it because my mom set it up when I was like 12, but I got rid of it, and I honestly can't say I'd ever regret it.
I keep it for
3
people.
weeks.
I keep it for people.
I tried to get rid of it. It won't. I can't get rid of it. It won't come off. But I don't even look at it, because my nurse friends are on there saying all this crap about, wear a mask and we can get together and
staying apart keeps us together.
Party. Yeah, exactly.
I had to tell my mom
Double
about that
speak,
crap.
right? And I'm saying I don't think so. Yeah, they want to get together. There's no way I'm going to go to a mask party right outside. Hello, in 90 degrees. Forget it.
And go swimming too.
Yeah, go
And my
swimming with
coworker
your mask
said
on.
about,
Tell me.
you know how people burn their bras back in the day? Like, we're going to have a mask burning party where we're just going to burn our mask.
Oh,
That would be. That's actually a good
I don't see them
idea.
getting rid of them. They're not getting rid of them.
Mask burning party. Yay.
That's what they should do at these protests. That would be a
Yeah,
cool
instead of
symbol.
burning American flag, you can burn the damn.
Yeah, because that is the muzzle, right? That's the symbol of their
Exactly.
tyranny, right?
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Yeah.
I can finally hear y'all.
Phobia. I got a mask
If they
phobia
ever
now.
get rid of them, guys, we could throw them up in the air like we graduated.
I'm just trying to figure out.
I don't think they will, though. I don't think they will.
No, they're saying nothing. It's never going to change. Like it's going to get worse.
Nah.
I've had so
That's
many
what I'm
clients
trying
saying,
to.
"Oh, after election, it's going to go away." I'm like, well, how come? If it's just an election thing, why is it still everywhere? Why is it just
Yeah. It's global.
It's not
It's one
going
world.
away. It's global.
It blows my mind how people really think it's only because of the election. A guy literally told me that 2 days ago. It's like, yeah, this will all be gone once Trump wins again. He's super far right. And I'm like, dude, why are countries on full lockdown right now? I'm like, no one is concerned about America's little selection process. Like, you can't be that delusional right now. Like, it blows my mind. Like the wall of cognitive dissonance that's built up around people right now.
Because
It's
people
insane.
just focus on their four walls around their house. They don't focus outside the United States.
They're under a spell. They're under a satanic spell.
And all these people that are Trump supporters are anti-vaxxers, and he wants to vaccinate us. So you're
Exactly.
or a very
speed.
powerful
Operation
manner.
In a very
The
powerful
military.
way. That's
Yeah,
right.
wait.
Very
Oh, that's
powerful
great. Yeah.
man. We're gonna bring on the vaccine.
Operation Faceless, right?
Don't worry, Q says it's gonna be all right. Trust the plan. You know, it's
Q was
like,
right.
The military.
Q
okay,
was right.
yeah.
He's always
Don't
right.
trust you. I don't trust you at all.
No, there's no way you should trust Q. I know a bit about Q. Like, it's funny that I don't read the drops, but I know some of the characters that are behind it, and yeah, they've been around for a while, and they're fishy characters. So, and they're connected, of course, to the White House. But it is an operation. They do mix a lot of good stuff in with their stuff. That's the problem, because they'll bring in Agenda 21 and stuff like that, right? They'll show you the sustainable development. They'll show you a lot of the globalist sort of plans. But then, like Sean was saying before, it's like, oh no, Trump's going to save us, but it's a global thing, right? It's like,
Exactly.
what is he going to take on? Is he going to solve what's happening in Victoria as well? Because what we're all suffering from is this same global tyranny, right?
He's gonna drain the swamp. Whatever.
He's gonna arrest Hillary. He's gonna arrest Hillary, guys. Okay, he's gonna arrest Hillary.
Yeah, that's great, right? And that too. It's like, I mean, these people are senile that you want them to go after. I mean, I'm surprised Hillary's still alive, considering how
She's
poor
a
her
witch.
health. What's that?
She's a witch.
Yeah, that's why. She's the adrenochrome. That's it. Yeah.
She uses us whatever kind of drug.
But the thing is too, it's like that Q, like seriously, like, okay, Podesta, Hillary, and Alephantis, and all these characters, none of them are in the White House. None of them are in power, anyways. Like, even if they're just be puppets. So, like, what good is it going to be to get rid of all those, or somehow arrest all those people? Which it never happens. Of course, they've been telling you sealed indictments. Where is the arrest? How comes it hasn't happened? They were supposed to happen like right after Trump
got elected.
Yeah, he got in, and it never did. And it's like, trust the plan.
Yeah, it kills me, because I think that a lot of people pre-Trump, and the reason that Trump became a thing in the first place was probably because a lot of people were starting to wake up. And then when Trump showed up, I know that I noticed that people like Trump took a good chunk of the awake crowd, because, hopium is a hell of a drug.
Yeah. He effectively flirted with the truth community. He co-opted the entire awakening. The awakening was kind of outside of the left-right paradigm, but Trump played the card and pulled the people back into the paradigm. Unfortunately,
Because he kind of wasn't he like a truther with the birther movement, with the Obama not being naturalized. He told people that, and then now he says, "No, I never said that." I'm like, wait,
Typical narcissist, gaslighting people.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's basically reinforced the left-right, right? Like, that's what Trump has done. Like, he's, in fact, more than ever before, you could say, because you have this perfect divide happening. Now, there is a large, I guess, unseen people like us that aren't buying into it, but we're not we don't have any sort of political thing to a representation sort of thing, right? But like, most people are just becoming more cemented on their side. This is what we see. Like, Shitter's the best example, or, the social media, where everything that gets thrown out, it's just a perfect divide. I've never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. Like, in the history of American politics, this divide has never been as
it's very deep.
palpable. Sorry,
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say how Trump is all about law and order now, because everything's going chaotic. Watch when he becomes the president for a second term. He's going to enforce the law and order, but it's going to be more like militia.
Yeah.
Like New World Order cops, blue helmets, whatever you want to call it.
That's it.
I just see this happening.
He said that too at Mount Rushmore about bringing in the federal troops and the militia. He definitely said it, and people cheered. I'm like, dude, did you just not hear him say he's ready for martial law?
Because people are seeing so much crime and everything. They want someone to protect them, and they're asking for it. But when it comes, they're not going to want what happened.
Yeah, but let's go back 8 years ago. If Obama was, if this happened in the, like, let's say 2012, like it would have in the lockstep document, like how many people would be pissed right now? Oh, Obama's taking power, but I guess it's because Trump's doing it, and then people are like, ah, it's all right, it's Trump, he's draining the swamp or whatever. Like it drives me up a wall hearing some of these, like, people around here, for example, people that would otherwise be awake, and then we'll agree on some stuff, and then they'll be like, ah, yeah, Trump. I'm like, ah, fuck.
That's how a lot of people are around these too.
He is
So.
a swamp, right? He is a swamp. And alarm bells were ringing when he was saying at that press conference, when he was saying, you know, this is the calm before the storm, right? And they were asking, well, what's the storm? And
yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll
That was
find out.
that was like before
WTF? What?
COVID and stuff like that too. So was that the storm he was talking about?
Yeah, had to be.
I think you're talking about waves.
Yeah, that happened right. Yeah, right before that. It was in January, I think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They've been using that storm and wave symbolism for a long
Exactly.
time.
They're still using that symbolism to talk about the waves of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and this evil spell that's been cast, and this, we can't see the enemy. This
yeah.
The enemy that's
between Trump with his calm before the storm, and then Bill Gates with his freaking pandemic #2. I'm just sitting here like, guys, how are you not seeing this? They're literally telling you that they're manufacturing this stuff, and you're, God help us.
And you don't believe them.
Right. How do you allow him to literally number the pandemic and still trust it? Like, what? Like, how do you call it a pandemic number? Like, what kind of crap is this?
Yeah, because he was talking, I don't know how many of you seen the interviews, but he was talking about, oh yeah, this is just pandemic #1. And with that stupid smile on his face that somebody
duping delete.
And they slipped, didn't they slip? And they said it, this exercise.
Exactly.
And one of the journalists said that they had already gotten the shot.
Yeah. And Bill Barr is the one that said it was the exercise.
They banned my video on that, along with so many others, but I mirrored that video, put it up there, and of course, hate speech, right? Can't have actual conversation caught on a hot mic showing up on
goes
YouTube.
against COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's okay, guys. Is it a hoax? They said UCC death. It says comparable to flu. It's like 0.1% or 0.1% or something. That's what the conversation was. I'm kind of paraphrasing it, but they took that down. They taken down everything. They recently just took down the one with the guy who was going around, where are all the sick people?
Yeah, right. Oh, that was great.
Yeah, I like that because I
that.
feel him like that's me. I would be like that, like, because I would freak out. You go into a hospital and it's like, look at what you're doing to everybody. Where is all this? Like, I mean, they've changed everything. I mean, that guy's anger was so justified. It was awesome. But hopefully, the video's gone out to as many people. I don't know. I'm going to say, because it is getting kind of late here, and I want to make sure that Jen and Moon Mother get a chance to join in. So I'm going to ask for volunteers. I would step out myself, but I can't. But we need a couple people to clear spaces, and I want everybody to clear because I would like to keep the room full. So if any of you are getting to that point where it's getting close to bed or whatever.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop out of here. I just want to say one other thing.
Okay.
With the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing, the fact that he's 17, 17Q, and then Trump actually comments on it, I think that has some kind of significance to it. So I just wonder if you guys kind of put that together. So why he would just, it was just kind of strange. So yeah,
I'll go ahead. I haven't looked into that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big one here. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and drop out of here, though. So it was nice talking to everybody.
Hey, thanks so much, Uncool. You're awesome.
Uncool.
And you're not that uncool. You're actually pretty cool. So
thanks, everybody.
I want to see her baby. Thanks. I'm disappointed.
Yes, my baby fell asleep when I came on. So I'm sorry.
We gotta see your baby. Okay, so next time.
Next time.
Awesome.
We'll have to do it early.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Great stuff.
Take care.
Jeff, I got a big topic, so I want to stay on for a minute.
Okay, you stay on. Can we get one more volunteer?
I'll pop off.
Oh, thanks so much, Hal.
I couldn't hear nobody for the last like 5 minutes, so I couldn't even enjoy the
Okay, so
conversation.
I'm gonna get Jen in, and then I'm gonna get Moon Mother. Thank you so much, Hell on Wheels. Really appreciate that. You guys are real troopers. There we go.
Nice talking
Thanks.
to you, Hal.
Hey, Jen.
Hi, Moon Mother and Jen. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
Jen.
you guys so much for
Can
being.
you hear me? Thanks, all.
We
I
can.
wish I could just have everybody kind of, at the same time, but it's limited. But it's probably, like 6 is probably the good number too,
Right.
because it gets a little too many people, too many cooks spoil the broth. But yeah, go ahead, you guys, Moon or Jen.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear.
Ah, thank you.
Hello. To talk
Hello.
to her.
Hello, Moon
Hello,
Mother.
Moon Mother. How are you
Hello.
doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually supposed to be working as we speak. I've got my work computer beside me, so I haven't done much work today, admittedly, but yeah, it's all good.
Right, we're praying for you and your country.
Moon Mother's in Oceania right now.
Thank you.
The Ministry of Love.
More like the Ministry of Hell at the moment.
Yeah. Well, we'll all be there with you very shortly. No, I hope not. But no, I mean, what I hope is it ends there.
On the other side.
Yeah.
I saw something on Facebook where they actually went to someone's door because they made a post about what's happening in Australia and they told them to take it down or something. This was on Twitter. ReallyGraceful shared it. So that's
what was the post?
Somehow someone made a post on Facebook, so the cops came to her house and told her why she posted, because I guess you're not supposed to talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just like, and I guess there's like a group on Facebook, or was a group for Australia's people who are having to deal with all this, and they actually took that page down.
Well,
So
even
they can't speak out about it.
Yeah, the Premier was saying in his daily sort of updates that police are heavily patrolling the internet and the narrative that people are putting out there, and they won't tolerate, anything sort of outside of what should be said. So, yeah, they have been knocking on people's doors and asking them to take posts down, which is crazy.
That sounds like 1984 to me. I'm sorry.
That's why it's going to be. That's why it's going to be really important for people like myself to be covering what's happening, because if you guys are being targeted there, it's going to make it harder, obviously, for people there. So you're going to need people from other parts of the world to come in and help expose what's going on, take the load off, sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, for sure.
That sounds like what's happened.
Not gonna cover it.
What happened to China, because in China they couldn't get out the word out what was happening to them either. Of course, China is a communist country. Yeah.
That video too of them all screaming from the rooftops. Do you guys remember that one?
That was horrifying.
Yeah. And
they were
just
jumping
thinking
off
about
buildings,
it, like,
weren't they?
yeah, they were shouting, "It's all fake! It's all fake!" Well, they were saying in Chinese or whatever, Mandarin or whatever.
Right.
But they were saying, "Yeah, it's all fake! It's all fake! It's all a hoax! It's all bull!" and I was like, "Oh my God, can you believe it? These guys have been locked in their apartments for 3 months or whatever, right at that point, and here they are, like screaming, trying to get the world's attention, and it was really brave of them to do so, and that's one of the reasons why I shared it. But yeah, it's scary to see this happening. But maybe, I mean, I saw a lot of that with China. Like, I was impressed, especially by the older people, like, that weren't complying, and they had the drones going around chasing these old ladies. Old woman, why aren't you not wearing a mask?
Exactly. That's not
Good boy.
Yeah.
Little boy on the bike.
Yeah,
Go home.
little boy, why aren't you at home watching your communist network?
We have a pandemic going on.
Old lady.
Yeah, old lady, put on your mask. Go home. And I like just the way that
it happened here.
I just like that. It's nice to see that they didn't, they weren't terrified and they were standing up, and it gives a little bit of hope. So just to see a bit more of that, as opposed to seeing the people banging the pots on the balconies like morons,
Yeah.
cheering on. Hey, we get to be locked in our homes. It's so much fun.
Well, you have people like I
So
think it's in Georgia. They were asking for the mask mandate because they want people to wear masks and stuff. Like, why?
Yeah, I don't understand why people
Mind
aren't
control.
pushing back,
Exactly.
because the masks are so bad for you, for your health, and it's killing our immune systems.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, Moon.
But
I didn't
it's
mean to.
it's
so
it's a
Jeff,
muzzle. Yeah, go ahead.
I got a topic I want you guys to think about. It's something I've thought about for years. Um, like, how much further can we go technologically? I mean, it's like we're almost ready to peak. And when a civilization peaks, I think they crash. Like it might
Atlantis.
go against the biblical worldview, but Atlantis,
Yeah.
the lost city Atlantis,
Yeah.
seems like they peaked with technology, and then they went underwater.
It's like
I don't know if
Isaac Asimov Foundation series, right? Like that's the basic sort of idea behind it, that a civilization that reaches some sort of stagnant peak. But I wouldn't say we're technologically peaking, because it
not
seems
yet.
like we're technologically on the precipice of it's already happening, of like
Yeah.
a huge transformation, right, with the transhumanism and the nanotech and the brain chips and everything else. But
The video games look just like real people. Yeah,
yeah, but in terms of ethics, or in terms of humanity, we're slipping fast, right? And that's the bad mix, because
yeah, moral degradation. Yeah,
yeah, you have the technology. Like what I think too, like when I talk about, say, past dictatorships, like you could say the 20th century is kind of the age of dictators in many ways, all the different horrible atrocities that happen. And you think, okay, how much worse can it be based on what's happening now? And there's a chance that it can be a lot worse because of the tech that comes into play that doesn't exist, during the Bolshevik era, or say Nazi Germany or Maoist China or anything like that, right? Like, had certain tech, but nothing like we have now. And now we're going to see, when this merging of that sort of tech along with the same type of totalitarianism comes together, how I hope we don't see it. I hope that we're able to thwart it, and do the best
You
that we
think it's
can.
like alien technology or something too? Like, how did we get so smart so fast? Like, everything progressed. Remember in the 80s we had regular Nintendo, and then later it's like looking in the mirror.
Did we get alien tech or something?
I don't know. Like, some people
The
aren't that
robotic
smart.
influence.
If you look
There's some
at
dumb people out there, man. Like, I don't know.
2001, they had they had iPads. It's really bizarre. If you watch the movie, I'm saying the year, I'm saying the movie, which came out in like 19.
Oh yeah.
60.
Yeah, they know ahead of time what they're gonna do. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
like
some
in-
crazy things. We do have Aldi. Hi, Aldi. I see you there. Does anybody want to give a space here for Aldi to jump in? I feel so awful asking this, but
Yeah, I'll
I'm
drop
happy
out.
if I have to go anyway.
okay. So,
I'm gonna say
thank you so much, Moon Mother. Hey, we're gonna obviously keep in touch with me. Keep me informed about what's going on and I'll keep a very close eye on Victoria. And yeah, God bless you and watch over you.
God
Yeah.
bless and love to you all.
Take care.
God bless you, Moon.
Bye-bye.
Listen.
We'll pray
Love
for
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Look
Take
for me in
care.
the
Eh?
chat.
Thank you so much. All right.
Okay, bye.
Take care. Love you.
Bye.
Hi Aldi. How you doing there? Can you hear us?
Hey,
Good,
Aldi.
thank
What's up,
you.
Aldi?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Anybody else? Anybody else
Thank-
waiting, Jeff?
No, I think yeah, we had Hell on before, so he's popped back in, but we're not, I'm not going to go too much longer because it's what are we started at 8, and so we're closing in on 4 hours here. So I'm gonna have to get off in about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes or so. So Aldi, thanks for coming by. Did you have anything?
Jeff.
Pardon me? Yeah,
go get something to eat after that.
Yeah, well,
You've been on for a while.
Yeah, Aldi. Sorry, I wanted to give
Or
you
go
a
to
chance. I think you're in New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken, right?
How you remember? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I just wanna say thank you for everything that you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Always.
Love your accent, Aldi.
Yeah, great.
Okay,
It's too bad you're not here with Moon Mother because
Yeah,
of the
that's
Aussie.
right. She's got a cool accent too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's fun
Flight of
doing
the
this
Conchords.
and just talking to people from all over the world, you know, like it's so cool. I mean, that's one of the cool things that we have with the tech there, eh, Sean? Like otherwise we wouldn't have been able to do this type
that
of
is
stuff.
cool.
So.
We get to see faces and hear voices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't have, we don't have a community really, I mean, we have it here, but like it's hard to find like people around us,
Let's be all go
It sucks.
find
Like I would
somewhere.
love to be able to hang out with you guys,
If
Yeah.
you ever run from the New World Order, we probably live together.
Me and Jeff would probably have a couple of beers and get crazy.
For sure. Right? Yeah, we'd have a great time. So, Aldi, how are things going down in New Zealand? I know that they've been talking because Arden has appeared up in the media a few times talking about potentially changing things there. Is there any latest sort of developments there?
Well, I know she postponed the election.
They postponed the election.
1 month or so.
Is there any cases? I think there's a few they said or
Yeah.
something, right? And so they have a few cases and they postpone the election.
Oh
wow.
Yeah, I know. Stupid.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
What do you think about her? Are you guys? Is she like well received there? Are people starting to maybe question?
I think people loved her because she saved New Zealand from COVID, which is we know better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There are awake people here. I went to a march Saturday with about 500 people there.
Nice.
But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just think they're mostly the same as where you are, I think.
Are people wearing masks
People
there?
walking
Is that
around
like
with masks on.
mandated or
Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
No. Well, we didn't have to wear masks for a long time, but we have to wear masks on public transport now.
Okay.
And people are like about half of the people you see are wearing masks. By choice, I think.
Mm-hmm. Watching the telly.
Yeah.
That's weird too, eh? It's like so there it doesn't even have to be mandated. It's just people just complying because they're seeing other people doing it and thinking, "Oh, I better do it," right? Sort of thing. Wow. Well, that's good that there's protests though. Yeah. Go ahead.
What I see a lot of old people wearing masks, and I see that makes me feel sad because, like, I thought I don't know about wisdom. Old people are supposed to have wisdom, but I see a lot of old people wearing masks, and it's sad.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
That's like to me. That's the saddest thing is the children and the old people. When I look at the extremes, and I see kids with masks and I see elderly people with masks, it breaks my heart because I think both are, like, good Lord, you're the people that need the fresh air. The kids, it's just diabolical, right? Because it's like, no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like no kid should have to be muzzled like that. But the older people, you think, oh man, like they could be their last gasp. They might only have a little bit of time left, and here they are, shuffling about, just thinking they got no choice or they're going to be safer. And yeah, it is what it is. So it's just crazy though. I hope it doesn't get worse there. I hope you don't, because like I look at, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gasping because when you said I hope it doesn't get worse. Yeah, I really hope it doesn't get worse.
Yeah.
That's why I gasped. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. So, anyways, any last things you guys want to talk about? Because I'm going to go to another, say, 7 minutes. I'm going to go to about 11:50, and then I'm going to get off here. But I want to give you guys all some chances to say any last sort of stuff that you have on your mind, or things that we haven't discussed, or maybe just some comments on what's going on, or any sort of anecdotes about what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I was telling Moon Mother in the chat
I have a
earlier that. Huh?
Yeah, go ahead, Jen. We'll get to you after, Sean.
You go, Jen.
Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
I was telling Moon Mother in the chat earlier that I had a good friend in Melbourne, and we've been friends for like at least 15 years. And a couple months ago, well, it was like back in February, right before the whole thing started. She was planning a trip home this summer, so we were making plans, to do stuff and whatever. And then COVID hit, so she was like, "Well, obviously I can't, come to the States now," and that kind of thing. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's crazy, and this is all stupid, and it's a scam." And she got so offended and upset that I said that she blocked me and has not talked to me since.
Wow.
She's like, I can't believe you said that. It's so insensitive, and people are dying, and we don't know anything about this. And I'm like, wow, okay. Like we've disagreed on things before, like we don't agree on like gun control, stuff like that. It's never affected our friendship. And she was just so mad, and she blocked me, and I haven't heard from her. So
You
I'm
got
like, I
canceled.
don't know how she's doing now.
Yeah.
Melbourne being
Social
Melbourne.
media is bad.
It's crazy. And I, so I'm like, hope she's okay and everything, but I'm like curious, okay, do you still feel that way? Or are you like, wait now? I don't know.
It's
I
so
had a friend
sad
like
to
that
see.
too.
Sorry, go ahead, Susan.
Well, I was just gonna say I had a friend just like that too. I tried to wake her up, and she said the same line. Oh, the people are dying. How can you be so selfish? Not wearing a mask. And
I had quite a few.
well, who do you know?
I've lost a lot of friends on Facebook.
Yeah,
I guess.
me too.
I guess
Who
they
do you
were
know
my
that's
friends.
actually?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if they're Facebook friends, not a big loss.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew them in real life too. Like,
Oh, that's sad.
it was people I knew. Even I had a fight with a family member.
Yeah.
Anytime I ever posted anything about the Bible, he would like throw his atheist views at me. Liberal douche.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
It's
Jeff,
just-
I saw
it's-
a couple of funny things.
Yeah.
I saw somebody mowing their lawn with a mask, and I saw somebody wiping their
noise coming
mailbox
from?
with ice ball.
Can you hear that? Where's that coming
Yeah, I
from?
hear it.
Okay, it's gone. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, Jeff, I saw
CIA
somebody
listening in, huh?
rubbing their mailbox with Lysol. It was hilarious.
Rubbing their what?
It's like, come on, the mailbox with Lysol.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Oh, I know. They had that on the news, didn't they? They had
Oh
this
my
guy
gosh.
showing
Come
how to
on.
wipe down all his food.
I guess it stays on surfaces. I don't know.
The guy that I saw on I don't know, probably Phoenix sent it to me, which was do you remember the guy on the subway, and I think he was like Asian or something, and he was going crazy. He was wiping everything down, and he had like
I didn't see
tape
that. I didn't see
taped
that
out
one.
area, and he was it was insane. It was like madness. He was like wiping everything, and he was completely like covered up, and people were just like looking at him like, oh my god. The rails, the seats, the windows. Where's that noise? Where's that
It's the
coming
camera.
from?
I don't know. I'm
Who's
in
got
Not
the
me.
hair
charges.
dryer going?
Hey Jeff, did you see
I don't know.
Phoenix
anybody
Cat, you're not hairdressing,
mow
are
their
you?
lawn yet with a mask?
Yeah. Mowing their lawn with the mask. Yeah, I have actually. Yes, absolutely.
I saw
Yeah,
my
I've
neighbor
seen
was
people
I had
do
a
that
couple people on
before, but they
Facebook
usually do that to
say that
keep
because
the
they have allergies
grass up.
to grass. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so you're saying, Phoenix, that people did that before?
You know, I mean,
So,
because people who mowed the yard would do
yeah,
that to keep the grass from flying in their eyeballs and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, or breathing
That,
gasoline, which
yeah,
is
but I also, my best friend
different.
had a neighbor for 20 years and they never did it before. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
All of a
everyone's
sudden they got allergies.
All of a
yeah.
sudden,
Who knows?
they're just brain dead.
20 years later, he's
definitely
never
brain
seen them
dead.
mow their lawn with a mask on.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's like, come on. Wow.
They probably
It's
wear
so
a condom
crazy.
It's the mask that's going to their brain. I felt like crap in the stores today, man. I was getting hot and
Yeah.
couldn't take it.
It's I think they're just pushing us so far, and it's just like they're
Well,
seeing
that's
how
why
far they can.
we have so many angry Antifa people because they're that generation that's already angry.
Yeah.
And they're even angrier. And I don't know if you saw that one. It was after the RNC.
I guess that's you, Phoenix.
She's hairdressing.
Yeah, it is you, Phoenix. You got your hair dress. Are you doing hair while you're talking?
Are you cooking a chicken in the air fryer?
It's okay. I had to mute you there. No, you're still. I'm gonna. I have to close up, guys.
Over.
I just
She
looked
has
at the time.
5G, Jeff.
Yeah, it's 5G coming in. Oh, you still got all that coming. Probably your mic or something. But guys, I'm gonna close up here because it's almost midnight, and I'm pretty tired and been going for about what we started at 8:00. So it's been over 4 hours here. So I just want to say, it's just awesome. You guys were absolutely amazing. Really enjoyed this show. I mean, the last time we did it was awesome too. So I really look forward to this, and it was even better than I thought it would be, sort of thing. So you guys are really awesome, and I want to thank you so much for being here and for supporting me on Patreon. I really appreciate that, and for being just such awesome people, right? And Phoenix, yeah. Sorry, I had to mute you there because we had the
My
feedback.
mic is dying. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Anyways, you guys want to say anything closing out?
We just want to thank you, Jeff.
Just thank you, Jeff. You're about the only one we can listen to anymore.
You're much loved.
Oh, thank you so much. Really
Very
appreciate that.
popular. You're just a social butterfly.
Awesome, guys. Okay, well, we're going to do this again next month. So really going to look forward to it. And this will be available for everyone. So you'll be able to watch this, and everyone else will be able to watch this. So it'll be right after I'm closed up here. I'll make it public for everyone. And feel free to come and leave comments and, say hi to everyone. I think it's really great that we've got this wonderful sort of community here, and just people all over the world. It just blows me away. So I'm very blessed. Anyways, good night, you guys. Take it easy, okay?
Good night,
I'll
Jeff.
see you guys all very soon.
Okay, you
Good night, everyone.
All right. Much love.
Good night.
Bye bye.